I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 20th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, 8 p.m., Carolina Hurricanes take on the Florida Panthers. Hurricanes on SiriusXM channels 91, Panthers on Internet 931. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 20th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, 8 p.m., Carolina Hurricanes take on the Florida Panthers. Hurricanes on SiriusXM channels 91, Panthers on Internet 931. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 20th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, 8 p.m., Carolina Hurricanes take on the Florida Panthers. Hurricanes on SiriusXM channels 91, Panthers on Internet 931. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 20th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, 8 p.m., Carolina Hurricanes take on the Florida Panthers. Hurricanes on SiriusXM channels 91, Panthers on Internet 931. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 20th. All times are Eastern, and please remember,
Kirby Puckett, God bless him, Mark McGuire and everything else. And then the next year, there'll be a new guy. And then the next year, if things keep going up, you become UFA at the peak time. Right, Craig? That's the math and the economics.
They can go, and I'm going to add one more team into the mix. So I don't know anything. What about the Calgary Flames? They need offense. They had a great player in Johnny Gaudreau that they let get away. Mitch Marner would be a nice replacement at 27 years of age, 28 years of age.
The more that are involved, the higher the price ends up being. That's another edition of Analyzing the Teams as they get eliminated from the playoffs. When we come back, Rod Brind'Amour back to the ice and snow in Game 1. We go.
Sports are all about moments.
One of the most incredible, miraculous finishes we have ever seen.
And you can hear them all.
He scores! Alex Ovechkin! There's a new goal-scoring champion!
As they happen.
Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani, a sayonara swing!
Live in the moment.
Rory McIlroy on his knees. He's won the Masters.
With live sports on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
Big news out of Vancouver. Adam Foote is the new head coach of the Vancouver Canucks.
Adam Foote's never been a head coach. And I look at the Vancouver Canucks. If they make that move, it's because they feel this is more about development. This is more about, building for the future. It's not so much about next year. Adam Foote's going to have some growing pains next year.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
There are a lot of things that make this country great. Freedom of speech, an entrepreneurial spirit, football season, double bacon cheeseburgers, Bigfoot sightings, and you. That's right. You make this country great because you help keep it running every day, which means your diesel engine needs to keep running too. And that means your diesel needs Power Service Clear Diesel Fuel and Tank Cleaner. Because all diesels run better with a clean tank. If you're changing fuel filters more often than usual, it's time to use Clear Diesel. It removes water and disperses diesel fuel contaminants, such as bugs and slime, to clean your tank and keep fuel fresh. Use this advanced fuel tank cleaning technology as a vital part of any preventative maintenance program or for immediate cleanup of fuel tanks. Power Service Clear Diesel Fuel and Tank Cleaner for a diesel that performs great, so you perform great. Learn more at powerservice.com.
Hear every game all season long with your hometown announcers on the SiriusXM app. With SiriusXM, wherever you are, your team plays here.
All the time for this group and for those guys in particular, because how they've gone about their business every day and through the tough times, because there has been. I mean, I know, when I say tough times, it's relative, to what we do for a living. But I mean, they've had a lot of, almost, and I think to them to just constantly believe in what we're doing and keep pushing. I mean, that's the whole key, and that's all you can do, right? And I think, like I said, you asked about I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to have that kind of leadership. It makes your coaching easier, if it is easy. But to have those kind of guys that, number one, do it the way you want it done and do it willingly.
Rod, big name, of course, Stanley Cup champion. I was there in 2006. Love covering that Stanley Cup final. When Pronger on the penalty shot, I thought the Oilers are going to win. That's and if there wasn't a push and Marc-Andre Bergeron, maybe there would have been. We like to go from the very top sometimes to the pluggers, especially if they're from Whitby. Jonah Gadjovich, 2 goals last series.
Obviously, I was around last year, and I was just watching what the guys were doing and trying to learn from them, even though I wasn't in the lineup. And I tried to, carry my experience over this year, and my goal and focus was to just stay ready. And I knew that if I was called on to get in the lineup, that I'd be ready. And I just been having fun with it. There's obviously a lot of stresses and anxieties that come along with playing in the NHL, but I'm just trying to have fun and check those aside and just enjoy what I'm doing.
Come right into a new series here. Not much time to sit and think about the last one. You just roll right into a new one here. And what's it going to take, big picture, against this Carolina team?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. Quick turnaround for sure. But obviously everything from that last series, we just have to kind of check at the door and on to the next one. And obviously they're such a good team over there. So, we just have to focus on our game like we always do. And that's all we can do.
Florida wants, but Carolina at home has to win tonight, Craig. Is that too much?
No, I think you have a team that just went to Game 7 in Florida. You have home ice. You've been sitting there rested. I think you want to take advantage of this, and I think it is an advantage to be taken that you can take hold of. So for Carolina, don't start chasing a series. Start out in front. Be the pace car.
Yeah, when we talk about the math, and there's sometimes too many numbers, I'm not sure which matter or don't matter. Speaking of numbers, just kind of ties everything together. It was on this day in 32 years ago, the final episode of Cheers, in front of 81 million in the States, and George Wendt passes away.
Radio Andy is Andy Cohen Live, Jeff Lewis Live,
Smith Sisters Live,
The Julia Cunningham Show,
Gail King in the house,
and
It's Me Tinks.
I am a content creator, lover of pop culture, advice giver.
You can't fix other people's relationships. You're not Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about what's going on with me, what's going on with you, and everything in between.
Dating,
Botox,
anxiety,
how to deal with your toxic roommate.
It's me, Tinks,
On Radio Andy,
SiriusXM 102, and on the SiriusXM app.
Introducing Mindset, Bridgestone's proprietary visual technology available on the Tour B and E12 series of golf balls. Bridgestone Golf and Jason Day created the Mindset process to enable all golfers to separate analytic thoughts from athletic performance. Mindset is 3 simple steps. First, identify the target. This is the information gathering step. What is the distance? What is happening with the wind? And what club do I need to hit? Second, visualize the shot path. This step is about connecting to the target and visualizing the shot or putt you want to hit. The final step is focus on the green dot. Here, you are clearing your mind of all thoughts while staying connected to the target and making your swing. Jason used the principles of Mindset to reach #1 in the world and plays the Mindset ball on the PGA Tour. Now, Bridgestone is making this repeatable routine available to all golfers through the Tour B Mindset. Mindset. Focused to perform.
The 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs. SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
The Florida Panthers come to Carolina to face off with the Hurricanes. The Panthers are led by Bennett and Barkov. The Canes can score on you in a blink with Jarvis or Aho. All the hard hits, highlight goals, and a shot at winning it all. Game 2, this Thursday, on your home for the Stanley Cup Playoffs and the Stanley Cup Final, Sports USA. The Stanley Cup playoffs are on Sports USA. Tonight, it's Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final between the Florida Panthers and Carolina Hurricanes.
A shot off the crossbar, stuffed in, poked in near side by Seth Jarvis.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, Granger, Wendy's, and by T-Mobile.
To the slot, they score! That's hockey, baby. What a play! Sam Reinhart in the dead slot.
Now, live from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina, here are John Forsland, Jim Fox, and Nick Olchek.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to a sold-out Lenovo Center. Raleigh, North Carolina, Game 1. Eastern Conference Final. The host Carolina Hurricanes take on the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers in what should be an outstanding series. A rematch of 2 years ago. 4 straight games, all won by Florida, all won by 1 goal. Game 1 almost went to 5 overtimes. Florida gets here after a 7-game win over Toronto that ended on Sunday in round 2. Carolina, a 5-game victory over Washington, which ended on Thursday. Jimmy Fox, good evening to you. And you know what? We've talked about it. The similarities are there between the two. But this morning, being around the teams, what could you gather?
Yeah, it was a little bit different. Just what you talked about right there, John, is different in that how the Hurricanes had time off to prepare. And then how the Panthers have to jump right into a first game of a series after going 7 in the previous series. I think with Florida, they can maybe be on cruise control. And with Carolina, they're going to be rested, fresh, going it that way. It can be a strength for both teams. But this morning, the difference was, it was interesting. Rod Brind'Amour said as a head coach, he puts absolutely nothing into what goes into the morning skate. You know, he looks out there. Sometimes your team has a little bit of energy. Sometimes they don't. Does it transfer to the game? He really didn't think so. Paul Maurice, at least in Game 1 of this series, he felt this morning at the skate. He said the guys were out there. They were having a good time. They were chirping each other. He said, that's all I wanted to see. That type of energy going into Game 1.
Okay, some news here for the teams lineup-wise. For Carolina, Jalen Chatfield on defense will not play. Still injured, undisclosed. Scott Morrow will make his NHL playoff debut here tonight. And for Florida, Anton Lundell came out for the warm-up and left. Did not take line rushes. No word yet. But that could be a key situation for the Florida Panthers. You're listening to game number 1 of the Eastern Conference Final right here on Sports USA.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! I'm talking to you.
Thanks for hanging out with us today for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes. Dang it. I wish our Leafs were here, but they folded. The Panthers earned it. They're in the next round. Good luck to your team, and thank you for being here making a difference with SickKids Hospital in Toronto as we donate a percentage of our revenue here on TSI from every single game. And we are glad that you're here. Please share this link out. Please hit that like button. Please bring some more friends here to the chat to cheer on your favorite team because you're lucky enough to have your favorite team still in the playoffs. We appreciate you being here. Good luck tonight. I think the Panthers are going to come out really strong after that strong showing in Game 7 against our Toronto Maple Leafs. Now let's get to the hockey. Good luck to your team. We'll see you back in there. Cheers, everybody.
Can also beat you by driving to the net. Team concept for Carolina, the neutral zone. No one dumps the puck in more than the Florida Panthers, so limit where they dump the puck in. Make sure they don't get on that forecheck, and that starts for Carolina in the neutral zone. For the Panthers, the individual, Seth Jones, has controlled the play in the neutral zone. Reads gap control. In the offensive zone, he's been all over the place, keeping pucks alive and attacking right into net. When you talk about the team concept for the Florida Panthers, you talk about can they get to the crease. They have the forecheck. Can they get bodies to the crease and make Frederik Andersen's life a nightmare? That's what they want to do right on top of him. We know they can bump him, but they want to get to the crease.
Oh, Foxy, great stuff as always. And here's somebody who always has something good for us. Let's go down to Rinkside and Nick Olchek. Nicky.
Thanks, Johnny. And for teams that are so similar in their offensive attacking mindset, it will be the forecheck that is the difference. Which team can get to theirs first? But I think more importantly, defending the forecheck. If your defenseman can get back to the puck first, touch that puck, you give yourself a much better chance to break out of the zone cleanly and efficiently. But then you can't stop there. It's up to the forwards, wingers on the walls, centermen in the middle to be able to help out the D when they do get back on that puck. Less time in the defensive zone means more energy conserved, and for offense, and between two teams that skate so well for their offense, the forecheck will be the difference in this game and the rest of the series.
And in any playoff series, Nicky, as you know, and Foxy, you certainly know, it's goaltending.
Yeah.
Frederik Andersen, right now the best goalie statistically in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and Sergei Bobrovsky is red hot right now.
Yeah, I think when you talk about Andersen for Carolina, the thing that sticks out for me this playoff is his consistency and those numbers. He missed the game earlier in the previous round, but he's been back. It just seems like that consistency is there because of his health. When you look for the Florida Panthers and you take a look at Bobrovsky, to me it's more the big save at the big time. When he comes in with that one, lets his team get settled into the game. When that happens, they're dangerous.
Well, we talked about Anton Lundell for Florida coming out for warm-up, leaving at the 9-minute mark and not taking part in the line rushes. He's out there for Florida. So no lineup changes, and that's a big break for Florida. Maybe it was equipment, we don't know, but that would have been a huge story if Lundell could not have played.
The third line, right? And the third line that's elevated as far as production to maybe be the top line. The way they approach the game, Brad Marchand comes aboard, Lundell, Louis Reiner, everyone just pulling together. That line has been extremely dangerous. They're very reliable, but now they're producing.
And let's hit on Chatfield not playing for Carolina and Scott Morrow, a rookie, jumping in tonight.
They'll help him. I think the system for Carolina helps any player that comes in. And as a defenseman, I think Rod Brind'Amour was talking this morning about the righty-lefty that you want on every single pair, those types of things. It just makes it a little bit more comfortable when you're on your strong side breaking the puck out.
So the defending Stanley Cup champions assemble on their blue line. And a sold-out crowd here in Raleigh. The Caniacs, as they're well-known now, have been outside on a beautiful day all day long and are amped up as their home team is assembled on their blue line. And we get set for game number 1 of what should be an absolutely stellar Eastern Conference final. And again, a rematch of 2 years ago. The defending champs coming off a hardened 7-game series with Toronto, and Carolina 2 5-game sets with New Jersey and Washington to get here. We're good to go. It's time for the Star-Spangled Banner here in Raleigh.
Now at this time, please rise if you are able. Kindly remove your caps and join us as we honor America with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Performed this evening by Adam Lee Decker.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets are there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
What an atmosphere, as always, here in Raleigh. The face-off of tonight's game is brought to you by AutoZone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light, and for free. And to get you back on the road, restrictions apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone. In goal for Carolina, leading the Stanley Cup playoffs in goals against average and save percentage, is Frederik Andersen. He'll be stationed down to our right. Two-time Vezina Trophy winner Sergei Bobrovsky. How's it going for him over the last 4 games? Well, save percentage .957, goals against 101. Foxy, what a matchup.
Yeah, it's a great matchup, and you would consider both of those guys leaders on these teams. I think they do it in different ways, but it's an excellent opportunity that both teams like to have the puck. But when they don't, they get the big stops.
Anton Lundell will take the draw for Florida. Jack Roslovic for Carolina. Game 1 is underway. Sit back and enjoy the sounds of it right here on Sports USA. Far boards at the Carolina blue line. Puck is touched up offside by Eetu Luostarinen, who's having an outstanding playoff.
To Nick Olczyk's point in the pregame about the dump-ins in the forecheck, it looks like right here, only one shift into the game, almost 10 seconds, and it looks like they're going to try to hold up. You can get away with it. You don't want to interfere, but you got to make sure the pressure's not there.
Roslovic, Hall, and Logan Stankoven start for Carolina. It's overskated far corner by Sean Walker, who's on the second defense pairing with Dmitry Orlov with Jalen Chatfield out of Carolina's lineup. The puck is free in front of the Carolina bench. Roslovic sets up a charging Orlov near wing. Over the line, he'll rim it in back of Bobrovsky to the far corner. 3 players collide. Carolina gets it. Far point, Walker, a shot tipped off the pad of Bobrovsky. Nice tip out in front that time by Jordan Stahl out of the corner. Played along now by Florida near side as it's pitched out to center by Lundell.
Yeah, the mobility of the Carolina defenseman, very important. We've talked about the forecheck ad nauseum. We're not even a minute in. At the same time, they're quick enough to get back and move it.
Dmitry Kulikov finished hard by William Carrier in the far corner. Carrier of Carolina with a big hit. This should be a physical series, especially from Florida's perspective. They have the most hits of any team in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's cleared far side to the corner. Carolina's own Evan Rodriguez off a stick. He'll sweep it to the near side where it's held in by Dmitry Kulikov. Far corner, Rodriguez takes a stumble for Florida, tripped up by Brent Burns, but we play on, and the puck comes out to center.
Bodies being thrown around. Kulikov, the most physical.
Sam Reinhart gains the zone, takes a seat. He's taken down by Jacob Slavin on the right wing side. Puck is free at the center point. Seth Jones plays it off a stick, and it deflects in the Carolina bench.
That hit by Slavin. Again, you see a defenseman, but Florida's trying to dump it in. They do dump it in, but right now I'm seeing a lot of holding up. I'm seeing a lot of interfering. You're seeing a lot of body contact, and that is by Carolina to make sure the forecheckers of Florida are not the first guys on the puck. Whether it's a forward or defenseman, you're getting a piece of someone.
We'll keep an eye on the matchups as always. The home team, the last change. The top line is out for Carolina. Aho, Jarvis, and the red hot Andrei Svechnikov with 8 goals, leading Carolina. For Florida, the Bennett line. 2-on-1 Carolina. Near side Aho, blocked by Niko Mikkola, diving right in front of Bobrovsky.
Early on in a game with a clear-cut 2-on-1 like that, Aho, your highest skilled player, you get to try to pass.
Carolina going from right to left through center. Through the center right zone, it's kicked along by Walker. The play is offside at the Florida line. We get a stoppage. Let's go down to rinkside. Here's Nick Olchak.
The first hit of the hockey game, William Carrier on Dmitry Kulikov. It concave the glass just in front of me here to the right as I'm sitting to the left of Sergei Bobrovsky. Safe to say, guys, a couple of fans were wearing a $15 beer that was on the glass just prior to the hit.
I'm looking up that word, Nicky. Now it's dumped in. Conclave the glass.
Very nice.
Say that a few times. Now along the boards, better him than me. Now Ekblad, near point, right side with a shot, looking for a tip. Now off the side of the goal, A.J. Greer, this fourth line for Florida. Greer, Gadjovich, and Nosek have been great.
I'm wondering if Nick can save me a beer down there maybe by the end of the game.
Put your order in. Just about 3 minutes gone in the opening period, game 1. John Forsland, Jimmy Fox, Nick Olchak, Lenovo center Raleigh. And a goalless start off the draw. Right wing side, near side, Florida's Nosek denied ice. Shane Gostisbehere in the near corner. In his own end gets to it. Scott Morrow. First NHL playoff game, clears it out to center. Young man from Southern Connecticut out of UMass. The play is offside as Carolina crosses the Florida stripe.
And there was talk this morning about Morrow coming in. What do you do as a coach? What do you do as a veteran player to help him? And everyone just said, Jordan Stahl was talking about it. He said, the one thing he says, hey kid, do what you did to get yourself here. Don't change a thing. That's why you're here. That's why we want you here. And again, that right-handed shot, a little bit strength out right there. He was very poised on that last breakout. Took his time, passed right on the stick.
Morrow played 14 games in the regular season. Most of his year with Chicago in the American Hockey League. He had 6 points, including his first NHL goal. Near wing boards, Florida zone. Left to right they are. Head to Losterainen, gets it out to center. Brent Burns will pick it off for Carolina, near wing. Carried in by Logan Stankoven. A drop pass for Taylor Hall. He's taken down by Brad Marchand. Puck is free at the center point inside the Florida line. They get it out to center. Anton Lundell will dump it in. Freddie Anderson out to take care of it in back of his own goal. And Carolina now starts a breakout.
Nice reversal there by Carolina. That's important. Again, a strong forecheck coming at you. If you're going one way, reverse the other. Helps out a lot.
Just about 4 minutes gone in the opening period of Game 1. East Final, goalless. Seth Jones, who started the scoring in Game 7 Sunday night. His pass picked off at center by Carolina's Jordan Stahl. It pinballs back in the Florida zone, and again, it's offside.
Well, you have standing up at the blue line right now. Florida's trying to do that, make sure they defend. I know this morning Paul Maurice talked about the first 10 minutes of the game, and he felt they would really have to weather a storm. So far, that has not been the case. The best chance has been the 2-on-1. Aho electing to pass and not shoot. Having said that, really, Carolina has not taken over this game at all momentum-wise. The Panthers right in it.
No shots on goal as of right now. Out to center ice. Sean Walker will dump it in, a hard rim, far to near wall. Puck is in the Florida zone, down to our left along the near boards, a collision. Carrier taking a run at Reinhart. Puck comes out to neutral ice at the red line. Mikkola clears it in, far to near side on the rim. Rodriguez seals the wall for Florida. Taken down, point shot by Jones is blocked on the way through. Far point Mikkola, no tip, it caroms off the end boards. And Dmitry Orlov will take over for the Hurricanes. Clear it all the way back down, 200 feet. This is icing against Carolina.
What we are seeing is not a surprise, and it is time and space. And there is nothing right now. The pace is very quick, meaning both teams are getting back to pucks. They know what they want to do when they get to that puck, so there's no hesitation. Having said that, maybe one pass, and that's about it. There's no one else open, so you have to kind of just dump it in and start again.
Sports USA, your home for both conference finals. Game 1 tomorrow night in Dallas. Forsling shot, center point, caught by Freddie Anderson, the first shot on goal tonight.
Yeah, sometimes you want to face off. That was to the right of Anderson. It was one cleanly back to the blue line. Forsling went from the far boards, walked it to the middle, but because it was one so cleanly, he got it so quick, there was no one for the Panthers able to get to the front of the net. You talk about clean sight line. Anderson saw it all the way. Easy, can of corn right in the glove.
Faceoffs in the far circle down to our right in the Carolina zone. Jordan Stahl for the Hurricanes. Sam Bennett wins the draw back for Florida. They have a set play running. It goes far corner where it's intercepted by Jacob Slavin off the boards. An attempt to get it out does not. Brent Burns will take over in his own territory. Slavin out to the red line near side, encumbering Svechnikov. And now a failed dump in by Carter for Hagees. Checked hard by Andrei Svechnikov. Out of the near corner down to our right. Carolina zone, a quick shot from the slot for Hagees. Set up by Tkachuk. It just went wide. And now some collisions in the far corner, and a penalty for hooking is called up top.
Well, you get the Hurricanes just not running around by any means. The more physical team has been Carolina.
Hooking.
So we do get a hook call, then it's going to go against the Panthers, and you're talking about offensive zone. You can't have that. Unless you're defending a scoring chance, you've got to stay out of the box. And Sam Bennett gets the first penalty against either team here. It's on the forecheck. He wants to be physical, but there's no question. He reached out, parallel stick, hooking the call. First power play, Carolina.
With that penalty called on Sam Bennett, the Canes are on the power play, sponsored by Wendy's. The Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is the best deal in fast foods for a lot of reasons, some of which include JBC, 4-piece nugs, and a junior fry and small drink as Bobrovsky hangs on to that one for the best deal of all time. Got to be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
If Sam Bennett were to take a penalty coming into the series, and if I were to guess it would be hooking, I would say no way. Maybe a charge, maybe a rough, maybe an elbow, not a hook.
Here we go now. 10 seconds gone on the power play. Along the near boards of the corner, Jackson Blake of Carolina. Near point, Seth Jarvis. He'll sweep it across off his backhand. Gostisbehere. Far hash at Svechnikov. Gostisbehere. Near side, Jarvis. And Bobrovsky gets across. Seals the 5-hole and hangs on. A skirmish now, Jimmy, in the near corner.
Yeah, everyone going at it. Because Bobrovsky, when he made the save, it was trying to go 7-hole under his blocker arm, and he just jammed that tight to his body, but he was not in control. And I think everyone around the play was looking for a loose puck. It never did develop, but the body language of the goaltender, I think the referees, they take a little bit of a split second. They hesitate before they blow the whistle because they don't know if the goaltender has the puck or not. Good job, though, by Carolina. Far wall again at the blue line, walking the puck to the middle with Gostisbehere. Does a good job to get it there for that shot on goal.
Carolina's power play, 4th best in the playoffs overall, 2nd best among the teams that are left. Florida's kill is number 2. Shane Gostisbehere is the quarterback of this unit. He'll drop it off now, carried down long by 30-goal man Seth Jarvis. The pass and the skates at the line of Sebastian Aho, and Florida's Ekblad will get it out. 1:12 left in the power play, no score, game 1. Gus Forsling in back of his own goal for the Panthers, tries to wheel out with it. He's sealed off there by Blake. Svechnikov near point, center point, Gostisbehere. Aho, near side Svechnikov. Aho at the near point, goes deep in the zone. To the slot, Blake in front of the goal, Jarvis. One pass too many. It eludes Gostisbehere in the back door and comes out to center. Shane Gostisbehere at the red line, gains the zone, pushes everybody back. Clears it to the near corner by Aho. Far side, Forsling of Florida. Marchand takes a hit, makes a dandy of a play, and the Panthers get it out.
Carolina's moving the puck very quickly. They have to because of the pressure, but they're one step ahead right now.
Lundell's on it, held in. Stankoven, it goes off a stick, straight to the near corner. A collision, Ekblad goes down, thanks to Seth Jarvis. A reset, up top Hall. Far side, a shot by Aho. Stopped twice by Bobrovsky. And he melts it down as he got the rebound. And the sticks are high once again.
And one guy's going off, John. It's going to be a Hurricane going to the penalty box. Again, crashing after the initial shot. Great job by Carolina again to move that puck. One-touch passing, forehand, backhand, turnaround, spin around, get it going. But after the whistle. Only one player going to the box.
Carolina 20, minor penalty roughing.
It is Sebastian Aho going off for roughing. And we're going to go 4-on-4 for 15 seconds. At that point, we'll switch the power play and it'll go to Florida. It's interesting. I mentioned Sam Bennett. I wouldn't expect a hook.
Right.
Sebastian Aho, I would not expect a rough.
No.
And we've had a couple of different things happening here, but with a 4-on-4 end zone face-off, I mentioned 15 seconds. The Hurricanes were able to get shots, and they were able to get shots from the middle of the ice. Very important with a man advantage.
Let's bring in Nick Olczyk.
That penalty, guys, for Sebastian Aho, more of a retaliation than anything. There was a coming together between Aho and Lundell just about 20 seconds prior to the penalty taken. Lundell gave Aho a shot. Aho wanted a penalty, so that one more out of frustration than anything else.
Yeah, you've got to watch that retaliation. You know they're going to get the retaliation. A lot of times, they do not get the first act.
4-on-4, 15 seconds off the face-off. A shot taken by Reinhart. Deflects on a play for a stoppage. 12 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Then Florida gets the power play.
Again, Florida will be the bully. And it's up to Carolina to be involved physically when they want. I think Carolina's been real good right here. And we'll take a break here. 12:57 remaining. Nothing on the board yet.
That's right. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA. We're back after these local messages.
It's the Western Conference Final on Sports USA, and we head to Texas for Game 1 between the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars. The Stars shine bright with...
Oh, look at this. And we got Jose and Tom here, too. Thank you for hanging out with us this afternoon for our Playoff Pulse campaign. This evening, whatever time it is where you're watching from. We appreciate you being here. Now's the time of the show. Please check the link that's pinned in the chat, as well as in the description. That's going to take you to our homepage at SickKids Hospital in Toronto, where you can add your donation to our Playoff Pulse campaign or share that link out and politely ask people to help you raise money for SickKids Hospital with Toronto Sports Insider and TSI Tom. You got anything to say there before you go to school, Tom?
Well, like and subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. We'll see you back in the chat. Thank you for making a difference with SickKids Hospital in Toronto. Every single one of you. Much appreciated.
Cheers, insiders and sports fans from around the world. The Playoff Pulse campaign on Toronto Sports Insider is uniting fans worldwide through the thrill of NHL and NBA playoffs. Every game, every fan, every moment counts.
Welcome back to the Grainger broadcast booth inside Lenovo Center. Keep your team moving forward with Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products, Grainger can help your business get a leg up. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. John Porcelain, Jim Fox, Nick Olczyk, Lenovo Center, Raleigh, North Carolina, Game 1, East Final. The Hurricanes, the defending champion Florida Panthers, goalless. 12:57 left, period 1. 12 seconds left on the penalty to Sam Bennett. Then a Florida power play. Far circle draw, Carolina zone. Down to our right, whipped right out of the zone by Slavin. This will be icing with 5 seconds left on the Bennett infraction.
Yeah, the face-off was won cleanly, and then Carolina went completely along the wall. It looked like a set play. Then Jordan Martin, he just let the puck go.
Yeah.
I think he assumed they were shorthanded. They're not shorthanded yet, so another end zone draw.
Off the draw, one again by Carolina's Jordan Stahl. Slavin has it. Off his backhand, he'll flip it out through center. In aerial fashion, in on Bobrovsky. Florida now on the power play for 1 minute and 42 seconds.
And they have to start in their own zone, but that will not be a problem for them. And again, because of the size of the Panthers, what they try to do on the power play is affected that way. They don't change much up. One thing they do differently than a lot of teams, they have 2 defensemen out on their power play. Yep. They have Jones out there with Ekblad, both right-hand shots. Both guys can tee it up.
Florida's power play is number 10 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Carolina, the best. 93.3% efficient. They are number 2 on home ice, but the best of the teams available. Slavin with a shot at pinballs off Alexander Barkov, right to Bobrovsky for a stoppage. $1:37 left in this power play and a face-off in the Florida zone.
Yeah, Carolina will take this every single time. Bobrovsky had to reach high for that puck. It was in the air, but he wanted to keep the play going, but then he didn't have any outlets, so he had to hold on. Another face-off.
Seth Jones will get to it and set the play by dumping it in back of the goal. Put on a tee by Bobrovsky for Sam Reinhart. Power play ensues, and Jones will bring it forward. He'll slingshot it back for Reinhart at the red line. Barkov will clear it far to near wall. It's down to our right in the Carolina zone, far corner. Martinook on a quick clear, a good job to get it out to center to kill more time. Jones clears it back in. It kicks off the far boards to Barkov in front, and it's broken up by Jacob Slavin before it got to Anderson, and the Canes get it out.
We mentioned that the Panthers dumped the puck in more than any other team. They did so even with a man advantage there twice. Just going with a normal type of 5-on-5 dump in.
53 seconds left in the power play. Near side, Reinhart. He'll rim it to the far corner, down to our right and back of the goal. Orlov picks it off for Carolina. Lead pass for Jarvis, broken up by Jones. He'll send it deeper, back of the goal, Tkachuk. Near side at the hash mark, Reinhart. Tkachuk, near wall, snapped in by Barkov. Tkachuk back for Barkov, near hash. In front, a backhander. They score! It's Carter Verhaeghe out in front. He has more goals than any player in the history of the Florida Panthers in the playoffs. 11:30 left to go in this first period. Florida off and running.
I mentioned the Panthers started with 2 defensemen, but Verhaeghe comes on as the 4th forward, and it happened on the near side to the left of Frederik Andersen. It was a nice attack triangle down low. One-touch passing, the spacing perfect. Low from Tkachuk to the half wall to Barkov. Then Barkov it was a subtle little pass from the wall just inside. Verhaeghe picked it up as a left-hand shot. When he did, he could have turned around, John, and went to the forehand. He did not. He stayed on his backhand and very neatly on a shovel backhand shot to the near side, high to the top corner. Power play. Panthers lead 1-0.
The 32nd goal of his playoff career, backhander to the roof, right underneath the bar on the glove side of Frederik Andersen, and Florida has the early lead here in Game 1.
I think Andersen might have been expecting him, anticipating going to his forehand. He did not do so. Saved time going to the backhand.
Puck is cleared, but not out. Taylor Hall picks it off. A shot blocked at the defense from about 35 feet out, and Florida's back out to center. Anton Lundell will dump it in.
It's amazing nowadays how many times players go short side high against goaltenders.
Now, A.J. Greer off the pad of Anderson in tight. A turnaround forehander. Jesperi Kotkaniemi for Carolina, broken up by Mikkola just inside the attacking line. He'll get it out.
Very aggressive by Mikkola coming across. He's a long, rangy player.
10:35 left to go, period 1. 1-0 Florida. Kotkaniemi of Carolina lifts it in near corner. Kulikov back there to play it along the near boards. Tomas Nosek gets it out to center ice where it's cleaned up off the backhand of Sean Walker, right back in the Florida zone. Seth Jones sets up shop in back of his own goal. Starts a breakout from left to right. Jones, a stretch pass, tipped in the zone by Matthew Tkachuk. Handled in back of his goal by Freddie Andersen. Kotkaniemi out to center. Carolina on the attack. Blake Vance on a cross-ice pass on a partial 2-on-1, and a good break for Florida.
Yeah, tried to make it a little bit before he had control of the puck.
Sebastian Aho will clear it back in offside. With 9:53 left to go in period 1, Florida gets the goal from Carter Verhaeghe. They have a 1-0 lead over Carolina here in Game 1. You're listening to the first game of the Eastern Conference Final right here on Sports USA.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance. but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
John Forsland, Jimmy Fox, and Nick Olczyk back with you in Raleigh. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final, 1-0 Florida. Foxy, what's catching your eye early?
It's the hits, because you come in, you get this far, you can do everything well. But Carolina known for speed and Florida known for hitting. Carolina has 12 hits right now. And it's not only the defense, it's offensive zone hits.
Carter Verhaeghe from Alexander Barkov and Matthew Tkachuk at 8:30 on the power play. The Panthers a 1-goal advantage. Game 1 of this best-of-7 conference final. Far corner, William Carrier of Carolina holding onto it. Back to the point. Shot taken, blocked in front. And off the stick of Brent Burns. A reset through center by the Hurricanes. Slammed in by the veteran Burns all the way around to the near wall. Martinook taken down by Dmitry Kulikov. Out of the near quarter, Jordan Stahl for Carolina. Far point, it's Burns. He'll look it over. Wristing one through traffic, no tip. Near point, Slavin. He'll snap it along. Again, Carolina, that high shot volume team. They fire from all over. Burns now off the stick of Evan Rodriguez in front of the Carolina bench at the blue line along the far boards. Out of a 4-man scrum. The Chuck lays the body on a Hurricane. The puck is free. Aho gets to it. He'll pop along. Near side over the line in the zone. Dropping it back for Orlov. He clears it off a stick. And it goes out of play.
Again, the length right now of the Florida Panthers defense is standing out to me too right now, John, because they're holding the blue line. That time you had Seth Jones out there. You had Mikkola out there. Two big guys just using their sticks. Just controlling space. And Carolina had some speed on entry, but then it goes away because of that size and reach.
8:52 left to go the first period. Shots are 4-3 Carolina. Panthers have a 1-0 lead. Near circle draw. Down to our left. Cook and Yemi for Carolina. Opposed by Anton Lundell for now, but he's kicked out. Etu Ostarinen comes in. Face off possessed by Florida. Aerial flip out by Lundell. All the way back in the Carolina zone, near side Gostisbehere. Held in Marchand. He's got it. Poked off his stick slightly by Kotkaniemi. Marchand got it back, then he gave it to Gostisbehere, who lifts it out to center. The Panthers overskate it. That was Ostarinen. Now it's carried in Gostisbehere. Near side a shot. Good stick by Gus Forsling, and it goes out of play.
That counterattack by Gostisbehere was exceptional. He just took it right through the neutral zone. Almost blue line to blue line. He was on the left side of the ice, and he had Forsling in trouble because Forsling was flat-footed, but Forsling did a good job. What he did there, John, he went back to the middle of the ice. I'm talking about the defender. That forced Gostisbehere to the outside. Then at the last second, stick on puck into the mesh. You start all over again.
Can you imagine in 21, Forsling was put on waivers by Carolina? Wow. And what a waiver pickup for the Panthers.
And now he's their best defenseman. He's out there all the time.
He's a plus 33 in the regular season. Along the near boards at the red line, Jack Roslovic of Carolina, checked by Jonah Gadjovich, who comes all the way back to the Florida zone. Mikkola pressed. Logan Stankoven all over him. Stankoven, far point. Now Gostisbehere center point in control, dancing. Gadjovich goes down. Gostisbehere right up the gun. He's in. Tipped wide. Stankoven out in front. To the point. Scott Morrow off the blocker of Sergei Bobrovsky. Near side, Taylor Hall rims it around. The crowd comes to life. Good sequence by Carolina. Morrow ridden off it by Gadjovich. And it's carried by Seth Jones at the Carolina line and dumped in.
Crossover dribble there by Gostisbehere. And Gadjovich breaks an ankle. He falls down. Great move laterally.
We needed some sweet Georgia Brown on those moves by Shane Gostisbehere. Has been great in the playoffs. Rodriguez in back of the goal. The Carolina goal, they score! A far side wrister by Aaron Ekblad, who was unmarked. It was a dart. And with 7:31 left to go in this first period, 2-0 Florida.
Well, Florida enters on the right side of the ice. They get the puck below the goal line. They use the back of the net. They take it in behind the net, so that gives them some time. And what happened is Stahl had the puck on his stick to the left of Freddie Anderson. It bounced over his stick. It's one of those turnovers where he wasn't trying to make a play. The puck bounced. Rodriguez gets the puck behind the net. He goes from the near side to the far side and not even pinching down. Ekblad, the defenseman, he was already there. He was waiting for something. He didn't have to move. He took the puck, catch, release, far side high. 2-0 Panthers.
12:29, the time of that goal. Aaron Ekblad, third of the playoffs, his seventh in his NHL career during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Seth Jones now will clear it back in the Carolina zone, far corner. Walker. The Canes will get it out to center, right to left. Carried by Aho. Over the line in the zone, near wing. Tangled by Jarvis. A shot. Beautiful save. Clinging to it, Sergei Bobrovsky. Some more pushing and shoving out in front, but nothing comes from that.
Just want to go back to the goals again tonight because one was on the near side high, one was for the far side high. You're always looking for trends against goaltenders. You're trying to pick up what's going on. I'll say this, though. Both times, the shooter, Verhaeghe the first time, Ekblad the second time. One was a backhand, one was a forehand, but both guys had time inside the dots to get the shot on net. When you have that time, you have a chance to pick your corner.
Evan Rodriguez gets the only assist on Ekblad's third goal of this playoff year. Comes out to center, Sean Walker back in his own end. D-to-D with Orlov. Walker now to the center of the ice, through the center ice zone. The pass picked off. Good coverage by Florida. Marchand had it. He stumbles. Carolina gets it back, but a steal by Lundell on the way back. He strips Stankoven, and it comes all the way back in Carolina ice.
Yeah, Carolina a little too selective right now. They're known as the shot volume team. It'll be offside on the Panthers right now, but I would say, John, at least 3 times Carolina has opportunities to put it on net, and they're looking for something better.
You put it on a tee earlier about the time off for Carolina, and played since Thursday, and Florida's right back at it after Sunday. What do you think?
Yeah, I asked Paul Maurice about that this morning, about whether you have that cruise control effect, whether you just jump into it. So far it looks that way because they have not had to weather a storm on the road game 1.
Nosek now will dump it in. He'll carry it near wall for Florida, down to our right, pitch it on the goal. Good save by Anderson. And a wrister right along the ice. It comes out to center.
Yeah, it's cruise control for one team, and then perhaps for Carolina, it's starting the engine up again.
Yeah.
They have to get that restart because they're not in cruise.
And their game really is dictated by pace. You could say that too for Florida, but Florida, as you pointed out, has a physical edge. Reinhart and all that championship caliber experience. Rodriguez will rim it. Barta near side along the near boards. Reinhart of the Panthers to the far side for Barkov. A reverse hit on Burns. Barkov. Rodriguez in back of the goal. Looks to the slot. Carries out with it. The pass broken up by Kokoniemi. He does a good job to get it out to neutral ice. And the crowd loves that. But Florida clears it right back in the Carolina zone.
Again, Florida using the back of the net for protection in the offensive zone, then to the front.
Kokoniemi was taken down. The crowd wanted a call, but they never get their way out of the corner. Far side Carolina zone, Burns. Near corner, Slavin. Jacob Slavin. Out through center. In the center right zone to the red line near side. Jordan Stahl shouldered by Sam Bennett. The puck pinballs back in the Florida zone. Near corner, Verhaeghe. To the near wall, sealed off by Stahl. Battle ensues. He and Bennett. Quick shot from the wall. Carrier. Good stick save by Bobrovsky. The Panthers get to it. And again, Carolina shoots at will from anywhere. Puck is cleared back in the Carolina zone down to our right. Sean Walker shouldered hard that time by Sam Bennett. As he was attempting to get it out, it's loose and back in the Canes goal. A big hit. Orlov went down. Matthew Tkachuk in the neighborhood. And it comes out to center. A breakaway. Aho sneaks in. Shut down. Great save by Bobrovsky. A pad save on Aho.
Aho tried to open him up and go tweeners.
To the slot, Jarvis. His shot turned out by Bob. Bobrovsky again, right on his game.
That's 4 big saves. The first one, Aho on the breakaway. Tried to open him up. Great fundamentals by the goaltender. Pad, and then stick between the pads.
You can hear the Caniacs as they amp it up. Marchand, the 37-year-old great veteran, tries to get it out for Florida. The back of the goal, Jarvis. In the Florida zone down to our left. Near point, Gostisbehere from Svechnikov. He'll tangle. Ostarinen all over him. Far corner Jarvis of Carolina. Far point it goes. Morrow. He'll send it in. Scott Morrow, the rookie, all the way around. Big hit. Ostarinen that time on Aho, and the puck will pinball out to center. The Canes will take over again. Morrow indirects it by Jarvis. It goes all the way back in the Florida zone.
The best segment of the game for Carolina so far with multiple opportunities, grade A opportunities.
On the blue line, Orlov, a shot that's easily scooped up by Sergei Bobrovsky. So with 3:40 left in period one, it is 2-0 Florida. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA. We're back after these local messages.
The battle for the Stanley Cup is heating up. Hear every game of the Eastern and Western Conference Finals on Sports USA. Don't miss a minute of the shots, the saves, and overtime thrillers. The top teams and star players for a shot at greatness.
Right down Main Street, a point-blank save. Welcome to the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Starting next week on your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup, Sports USA. It's the Western Conference Final on Sports USA, and we head to Texas for Game 1 between the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars. The Stars shine bright with Roope Hintz and the red-hot Rantanen. The Oilers will bring their dynamic duo in Draisaitl and McDavid.
Coming from behind the net, it's batted in by none other than Leon Draisaitl.
It's speed, power, and playoff glory. Oilers at the Stars, Game 1, tomorrow on Sports USA. It's the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA, and we're headed to Raleigh for Game 2 as the Florida Panthers come to Carolina to face off with the Hurricanes. The Panthers are led by Bennett and Barkov. The Canes can score on you in a blink with Jarvis or Aho. All the hard hits, highlight goals, and a shot at winning it all. Game 2, this Thursday, on your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup Final, Sports USA.
John Forsland, Jim Fox, and Nick Olchek back with you. Raleigh, North Carolina, 3:40 left to go, period one. Eastern Conference Final, Game 1, Florida with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Florida just kind of holding on that last 2 or 3 shifts. And you would expect Carolina, they know right now it would be important to get one before the end of the first.
Jordan Stahls lines out there, near circle draw down to our left. Panthers get it, they flip it out to center. Brent Burns back in his own zone with Jacob Slavin, the 40-year-old Burns on the tape of William Carrier through the logo. He'll backhand it deep in Florida ice. Jones in back of the goal. Carrier forechecking all over him. Jones did sidestep most of it, and it comes back out to neutral ice.
Yeah, Stahl against Barkov. It looks like that's what Carolina wants here early.
Jones for Florida. On the right side from the blue line, just inside of it, a shot swallowed up easily by Freddie Anderson.
I don't think, John, that we focus on matchups, at least so far, coming into the series, because both teams spread things out. That both teams have a lot of depth. Both teams get production from just about every line, so there's a lot of series when you go in, you have one line that just stands out as the line, and you have to counter that. In this series, we will talk about matchups, but probably not as much as other series.
Well, to your point, you would say Barkov's the first line, Bennett the second line, but it's the Lundell line.
Yep.
That third line's been outstanding in terms of points. And that's in the first round series against Tampa Bay, and especially in the second round series against Florida, or against Toronto, I should say, as the Panthers won that one in 7. Orlov out of the far corner. Jarvis will attempt to get it out. Forsling far point. Rims it all the way back in the Carolina zone down to our right for Hagee. Has one of the 2 goals. Out of the near corner, a handoff for Bennett. He's tied up, occupied by Sean Walker. Matthew Tkachuk low to high play at the point. Forsling, a shot ricochets off a body. It was blocked up top by Aho. And the Canes now reset the play.
Just the way things have gone right now, I'm looking at Carolina. They need a save. If Florida gets a real good chance, a grade A chance, they need a save right now from Freddie Anderson.
Orlov out through center ice. From the red line near side, he'll wind it in back of Bobrovsky to the far corner. It pinballs off a body. Kotkaniemi on a change. Late to it was Burns. That's offside. Delayed whistle on his dump in. Carolina tags up, so we play on. Lostarinen through center. He'll dump it in. Wide of Anderson, who tried to poke at it with his goal stick. The back of the goal, Burns takes a hit. Kotkaniemi gives it up, far point. And Schmidt's shot is tipped high by Lostarinen right out in front. Carolina now, Jackson Blake had a hard time getting out. Slavin will just punch it out to center. Kotkaniemi at the Florida line gains entry, and he's defended beautifully and taken off it by Lostarinen.
We talk about time and space. No space at all for the Hurricanes to move the puck.
Nate Schmidt, a stretch pass for Lundell off his stick in on Anderson. 90 seconds left here in period one. Carolina going from right to left. Starts the breakout. The former Vegas Golden Knight, William Carrier, near side, will dump it in. Bobrovsky from the trapezoid far corner. Jones, checked by Jordan Stahl. Far point, the Panthers get to it and carry it out. Mikkola at the blue line far side. Rodriguez was shoved off the puck, and it comes all the way back to Seth Jones. With 1:03 left to go in period one. 2-0 Florida. Goals by Carter Verhaeghe and Aaron Ekblad out to center. Sasha Barkov will dump it in for Florida and back of the Carolina zone. It's there for Rodriguez, who's tied up by Sean Walker. They jam for it. Out of the scrum now. Right along by Reinhart, poked by Rodriguez near corner. Svechnikov will golf it by Ekblad, held in good cover by Forsling. He'll send it in back of the goal, picked off by Gostisbehere, and Carolina breaks free out to center ice. 30 seconds left in the period. Gostisbehere gains the zone near side. Rodriguez converges on him. Ekblad will lay it out. Through center, picked off on a good play by Sean Walker for Seth Jarvis. They dump it in. Svechnikov for Jarvis. Blocked. It pinballs in. A tip out in front. Sebastian Aho was parked in front on a ricochet. 14.8 seconds left to go in this first period. Aho in the right place at the right time to cut the lead in half.
And John, they needed one before the end of the period. And this play was started, you mentioned it at the time, in the neutral zone. Stepping up was Sean Walker. He picked up a loose puck, and then what happened was the puck ends up going in off the skate of Sebastian Aho. There was movement. You can deflect, you can direct, but that looked like a movement of the skate. The Situation Room in Toronto review all of these. He did not lift his skate from the ice. He was not in the stopping motion. It looked to me like he kicked the puck.
Yeah.
It looked to me like he kicked the puck. Both referees are now on the headset. And again, this is initiated normally from the Situation Room. The referees in the building can initiate too. But by the call the ref pointed in over the line, they get to go from Toronto. It's almost like in soccer where you go behind your one leg and you kick the puck.
That's right. So Kelly Sutherland and Eric Furlot are the referees tonight.
It's close, John.
This is a review. This cannot be challenged. They will look at it, as Jimmy pointed out, in the Situation Room, and they're calling it good goal.
You know what happened? The puck, the one thing I think that saves Carolina here is this. The puck was already going towards the net.
Yes.
It wasn't going away from the net. And again, that's where you can call a direction. He directed it into the net, but he didn't pull his skate back by any means. But the momentum of Aho was going forward. Again, communication with the officials in the building, but the decision is made by Toronto, and Carolina back within one.
You did a great job with that, because as we saw it in slow-mo, super slow-mo, it went off his skate. His skate was stationary. Then it went towards the net. Then his leg moved.
If he was stopped, then a whole different thing. He was not stopped. Aho still moving towards the net.
Nice job, Foxy. 7 seconds left in the period. Sebastian Aho puts Carolina on the scoreboard here in Game 1. The horn will sound as it comes back in the Carolina zone. It's a brand new story.
Wow. Every goal is important, but because of the way that period went, there was no weathering the storm from Florida. They controlled most of the period. We talked about it, though, John. I think that the Hurricanes had 2 or 3 shifts with about 4 minutes left, and they started to change as far as getting chances. And then Sean Walker, neutral zone, time and space, but then quickly on transition, that led to the goal.
Sebastian Aho is 4th of the postseason from Seth Jarvis and Andrei Svechnikov at 19:44 of the first period, and Carolina trails Game 1 by 1 as Florida gets goals from Carter Verhaeghe and Aaron Ekblad. 2-1 Florida at the end of 20 minutes. Coming up next, Rob Brind'Amour has the intermission report. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final right here on Sports USA.
When I wake up,
the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Testing.
We are live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint or stain project, saving is at the top of your to-do list. Save now with buy one, get one half off select paints, stains, and primers from top brands like Valspar, HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, and Cabot via Visa gift card rebate. Find more Memorial Day deals now at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 5/15 through 5/28.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you'll find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
Rob Brind'Amour of the Sports USA studios. Tonight's first intermission report is brought to you by Kohl's. Make this spring a stylish one with on-trend looks for every occasion when you shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. Your score after one period of play in Raleigh, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. It's the Panthers 2 and the Hurricanes 1. Let's take a listen back to the highlights from the first period. A little bit more than 8 minutes in, Carter Verhaeghe broke the ice for Florida.
Near wall, snapped in by Barkov. Kachuk back for Barkov near hash. In front, a backhander. They score! It's Carter Verhaeghe out in front. He has more goals than any player in the history of the Florida Panthers in the playoffs. 11:30 left to go in this first period. Florida off and running.
Goal number 5 in this postseason for Carter Verhaeghe, and as you heard John mention, 32nd career playoff goal for him, the most in Panther franchise history in the playoffs. That one at 8:30 on the power play from Barkov and Kachuk. For the captain, Sasha Barkov, assist number 8 in this postseason. And for Matthew Kachuk, even though he's not scoring goals, he is picking up helpers. That was his 7th assist in this postseason, making it 1-0 in favor of the Panthers. And just a few minutes later, they would add on.
Rodriguez in back of the goal. The Carolina goal, they score! A far side wrister by Aaron Ekblad, who was unmarked. It was a dart. And with first period, 2-0 Florida.
The veteran defenseman Aaron Ekblad is 3rd of the postseason, 7th career playoff tally at 12:29. The assist goes to Evan Rodriguez, making it 2-0 in favor of the Panthers. And for the most part, they had been dominating the period until the final moments.
Sean Walker for Seth Jarvis. They dump it in. Svechnikov for Jarvis. Blocked. It pinballs in. A tip out in front. Sebastian Aho was parked in front on a ricochet. 14.8 seconds left to go in this first period. Aho in the right place at the right time to cut the lead in half.
Huge goal for the Carolina Hurricanes right before the period came to an end. Sebastian Aho, his 4th of the postseason at 19:45 from Jarvis and Svechnikov to make it 2-1 in favor of the Panthers, switching the momentum, really a huge momentum swing for these Carolina Hurricanes before the period would come to a close. As far as shots on goal in that first period, 10 of them for the Hurricanes. Sergei Bobrovsky allowed just that one goal. Freddie Anderson faced 7 shots for Carolina and allowed a pair of goals. And at the end of one period of play in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final in Raleigh, North Carolina, it's the Panthers 2 and the Hurricanes 1. Coming up next, you're going to hear from Evan Rodriguez of the Panthers. Picked up an assist in that first period. He spoke to our Nick Olczyk. That interview is coming your way right after this. You do not want to miss it. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Welcome back to the Progressive Insurance Studios. I am Rob Brender. Progressive protects your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at Progressive.com. Listen to Energy Line with Nate and GSP, a new podcast with former NHL player Nate Thompson and, of course, Julie Stewart-Binks. This pair brings it each week. Fantastic banter, great guests, unbelievable stories. They provide an emotional boost. It's Energy Line with Nate and JSP on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Energy Line with Nate and JSP and start listening. Your score after one period of play in Raleigh, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. It's the Panthers 2 and the Hurricanes 1. A few moments ago, our Nick Olczyk spoke to Panthers forward Evan Rodriguez.
All right, Evan, your team's up 2-1 after the first period. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was a good period. Obviously, don't like to let one in late, but I thought we played our game, did a lot of good things, and we'll look to continue that in a second.
A lot was made of the forecheck of your team coming into this series. Your pressure helped force the second goal on your assist there, Ekblad. What did you see develop on that play?
Just kept chipping it in, kept moving it forward. They fumbled the puck, and with a man-on-man defense, usually when that happens, you'll have time to look up and make a play. Found Ecky, and great shot after that.
39 hits in that period. You happy with where your team's physical play is at?
Yeah, their home ice Game 1. They're going to come out with a push, and I thought they did, and I thought we responded really well, and overall it's good first period on the road.
Evan, thanks for your time.
Anytime.
That is Panthers forward Evan Rodriguez with our Nick Olczyk. More of our intermission report is coming up next after one period of play in Raleigh, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. It's the Panthers 2 and the Hurricanes 1. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA.
Keep your engines healthy with stable in-season protection. Enable your engine to run cleaner, smoother, and stronger than ever before. A simple way to keep your engines running like new. At every fill-up, start with stable in-season protection.
Hello?
Whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Kick off summer with Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. Plus, get up to 40% off select major appliances and save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances $396 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/28. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Ride of life.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA. Rob Render back at the Sports USA studios with more of our intermission report. Your score after one period of play in Raleigh. It's the Panthers 2 and the Hurricanes 1. To recap the goals scoring, Carter Verhaeghe broke the ice for Florida at 8:30 on the power play, his 5th of the postseason. 32nd career playoff goal from Barkov and Tkachuk. Aaron Ekblad added on for Florida at 12:29 from Evan Rodriguez. Rodriguez picking up the lone assist. His 5th assist for Ekblad. It was goal number 3 in the postseason, his 7th career playoff goal to make it 2-0 in favor of the Panthers. Sebastian Aho got Carolina on the board for the first time at 19:45, his 4th of the playoffs from Jarvis and Svechnikov to take us to where we stand right now, heading into period number 2 with the Panthers ahead by a score of 2-1. The hitting in that first period, and there was a bunch of it, 22 hits for Carolina, 20 for the Panthers. The faceoff dot favored Carolina. They won 57.7% of the draws in period number 1. The Panthers 1 for 1 on the power play. Carolina was 0 for 1. And again, your score after one period of play in Raleigh. It's the Panthers 2 and the Hurricanes 1. Tonight's first intermission report has been brought to you by Kohl's. Make this spring a stylish one with on-trend looks for every occasion when you shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. Coming up after this, we're going to rejoin our John Forsland, Jim Fox, and Nick Olchek for the second period of Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final between the Hurricanes and Panthers. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with AutoPay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we know how fast life moves. That's why we have all-in-one banking that lets you keep on banking on. So whether you need our new lightning fast direct deposit setup for a new job, a checking account with ATM refunds and no service fees for everyday spending, or a full picture of your finances, that's all-in-one banking. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
John Forsland, Jim Fox, and Nick Olczyk back with you. Lenovo Center, Raleigh, North Carolina. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. The Florida Panthers have a 2-1 lead over the Carolina Hurricanes. Tonight's first period stats are brought to you by Lowe's. Memorial Day doorbuster deals are here at Lowe's. Celebrate the season with big deals only for rewards members. Lowe's, we help, you save.
Well, the thing that jumps out to me is the high danger chances. Florida was not credited with any high danger. They have 2 goals. Both shots came on a little bit of an angle away from that home plate area. But we talked about Bobrovsky throughout that first period where big save. So the high danger was taken care of. Then when you go to the offensive zone, it's interesting because possession time just with a puck in the zone, it was led by Florida. But actually having the puck, possessing a puck, it was Carolina. Again, Florida likes to dump it in, so they're going to spend time in the offensive zone. It's not like they always have it, but when Carolina does, they get more players around the puck, supporting the puck, and try to control that way.
Okay, Foxy, let's go down to rinkside. Here's Nick Olczyk.
Well, let's take everybody back to the first goal of the hockey game. Carter Verhaeghe on the power play. It was a retaliatory type penalty taken by Sebastian Aho following an altercation between himself and Anton Lundell. The Caniacs here in Carolina probably thought that they should have taken them both, considering it was an altercation. Right. You could definitely make a case for that to be the case. But overall, guys, moving forward, discipline is going to be key. 39 hits between both these teams as well in the opening frame. Something that we're going to see a lot moving forward.
A great start in period 1, and the start of tonight's second period is brought to you by Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, always putting clients' interests first. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Now, when you take a look at hits, I always look at who's getting the hits. Defensemen or forwards? And I thought in that first period, Carolina did a good job with their forwards in the zone, making contact. Carrier's probably the guy that stood out more than anyone. Again, you go to the other zone. Again, puck possession. A lot of times hits can be so deceiving because when you lead in hits, many times it means you just didn't have the puck. Relatively even there in period number 1.
Florida scored the first 2 goals quick. Carter Verhaeghe on a power play. Aaron Ekblad, a wrister from about 35 feet out, beating Freddie Anderson cleanly. And then a late goal. 1944 period 1, Sebastian Aho. It ricocheted off his skate on a nice little move. It's 2-1 Florida. The second period of long changes, Florida on the road in their road whites, attacking from right to left. Carolina in their home blacks. And the puck is dropped. We're underway.
Don't underestimate the soccer playing ability of European players. That's the way Aho was able to get the skate on the puck.
Bar boards at the point. Florida's Seth Jones settles it in back of the goal. Sam Reinhart attempting to cycle out with it. Little handoff out of the corner. Rodriguez, near point Mikkola. Quickly across for Jones. A mishandle. He plays it in offside. Delayed whistle. Florida executes a change, and Brent Burns of Carolina will carry the mail out to center. Through the middle of the ice, it's cut off inside the line by Mikkola. Back out to center. The Hurricanes get it back in Florida territory. Near corner, Jordan Stahl takes a hit, sends it back of the goal. Carrier off the back of the cage. It's blocked. Lundell tries to get it out. Lostarinen in possession, out to center through the logo. Sam Reinhart will wind it in. Freddie Anderson, Carolina's goaltender, plays it along the far boards. It's held in by the Panthers. Osterinen had it for a moment. It comes back out to center, snapped in by Nate Schmidt. Kane Gossel's bare far corner. Scott Morrow in his first playoff game tries to wheel out. Lundell on a steal has it near corner off the paddle of Anderson. And fresh on a change, Taylor Hall had it. He's almost run into that time. He was by Osterinen and almost got by Anderson at the far post.
Yeah, Hall tries to sneak the puck out of the zone right in front of his own net, and he almost gets caught. But right there was Freddie Anderson making sure.
Marchand through center for Florida, right to left. At the Kane line, they cross with Sam Bennett off the boards and back of the goal. Far corner for Hagee and back of the goal Marchand for the far point off the stick of Taylor Hall, and it goes in the Florida bench.
So Florida trying to get going again with a forecheck. It's up to the puck movement of the Hurricanes to get it going. Neither goaltender, I think, John, is known to be able to be that breakout passer. We did see one by Bobrovsky in the first period where he made sure he cleared the zone with a pass. But I don't think either goaltender is known for making stick-to-stick passes. They keep it simple when handling the puck.
That's what we try to do up here sometimes. Face-off will be in the far circle. In the Carolina zone down to our left, Bennett for Hagee and Tkachuk for Florida. The Aho line is out there for Rod Brind'Amour.
If you're unsure of what to do with the puck, John, just give it to me.
Okay, that was always the case back in the day. Icing is called here against Carolina. The crowd doesn't like it, obviously. The face-off back in the Kane zone.
Reminds me of a situation, my own teammate, Bernie Nichols. He'd go in on a 2-on-1. I'd be on a 2-on-1 with him. He'd shoot and he'd score. I'd get back to the bench. He said, I went with the sure thing. Oh yeah.
Well,
nice to be a decoy.
What a legend. Bennett now will draw it for Florida near point. Forsling a shot off the stick of Bennett. He fans on a backhander, and the second chance off the backhand goes off the end glass.
Well, once again, right there, it's Florida now getting the puck to the high danger area. First period, it was Carolina.
Carolina through the center ice zone by Jarvis. Picked off. Ekblad, now Bennett. Center ice against the red line. Tkachuk, a handoff for Forsling. Near side, he'll rim it to the far boards. Bennett has it. A shot taken. Caught by Freddie Anderson. No further play.
You know, right now with Florida, they're in that puck possession mode, but they're supporting the puck so well. Coaches talk about it all the time. 5 men connected. And that last shift by Florida, you could tell. You could throw a blanket over all 5 guys. When you look up, you want to make a play. It's a 5-foot pass. It's not a long pass. And when you do that, tic-tac-toe up the ice.
Face off in the far circle now in the Carolina zone down to our left. Face off is won back on a false start that time by Jordan Stahl, opposed by Sam Reinhart. So the boys will realign here with 17:44 left to go in the second period. 2-1 Florida.
Now, there was encroachment by one of the forwards of the Carolina Hurricanes, so they have to do it all over again. Stahl goes in there against Reinhart.
Game 2 here on Sports USA will be Thursday night. Our pregame coverage kicks off at 7:30 Eastern Time. The Canes get it out to center. Game 1, Dallas-Edmonton tomorrow night. 7:30 Eastern Time pregame start here on Sports USA. Reinhart far corner in his own zone for Barkov. He'll attempt to get it off. It's cut off that time by Martinook and comes out to center. Kulikov, far wing over the line to the slot. Schmidt for Kulikov. Kicked out beautifully by Anderson, and the rebound is cleared to center.
Transition by Florida that time, and again, 5 men involved. Everyone touching the puck.
Jordan Stahl now, Carolina will dump it in. The back of the goal, the Panthers take over. It's Kulikov. A stretch pass to the red line near side. Rodriguez broken up. The puck is available in the center ice zone, overskated now in his own territory. The rookie Scott Morrow out to center for Cook and Niemi. At the line, they cross right side Blake. Jackson Blake drags it, shoots it. Bobrovsky got a piece of it, and it careens out to center.
With Scott Morrow, again, first playoff game, you can tell, though, he's keeping it simple, and he's doing a very efficient job. On his stick, off his stick, very quick.
Jackson Blake on the right wing side over the line in the Florida zone, sealed off nicely by A.J. Greer. Mikula kicks it out. Far wing Gadjovich. Nosek now through center. He centers this fourth line. Mikula through the gut, right in near side. They score! A.J. Greer! That's hockey, baby! What a play! The fourth line comes through. 16:27 left to go in the second period. 3-1, Florida.
We've talked about time and space, and we've talked about the neutral zone trying to be controlled by the Hurricanes. That absolutely went the other way. All through the zone. Far side entry. Schmidt, the defenseman. He passes it off. Actually, it was Nosek, but the defenseman driving through the middle That was the play that was made by Florida. It was Mikkola who goes right through the middle, gets the pass on his forehand, and then waits, holds on, passes backhand across the crease, and then just a tip in at the crease. Fourth line, they set the tone, come up with another goal.
And Nico Mikkola, the big defenseman, makes a beautiful play. I want to turn it into an odd-numbered situation. And the Panthers back up by 2 for the second time here in Game 1, out through center. The Panthers' Seth Jones will dump it all the way down for icing.
If you're going to attack, if you're going to be a defenseman and attack, go. And that's what Mikkola did. He went all the way. He was that center lane drive. He goes through. He becomes available. Once he received it, though, you kind of knew he was going to make the pass off to the side. I'll say this, though. Neutral zone, one of the keys, so important for Carolina. That went away. It was wide open in the neutral zone. All the speed carried by the Panthers.
And that is uncharacteristic for Carolina. You just don't see that. We haven't seen much of that in the postseason. Walker drifts it across off the face-off win. Far point Orlov on a cycle. He gets it back. Orlov, far side, a sweep check by Jones. Prevents a pass. Stankoven takes over. Stopping and starting on Marchand from the far circle of Steele. Jones is on it. He'll pin it along the far boards. Muscled a bit by Taylor Hall. Near wing Logan Stankoven. Near point Walker, a flinger high over the head of Bobrovsky. Far point, it's tipped off Bobrovsky. The shot taken by Gostisbehere, and Florida attempts to survive. It's held in right point. Walker to the center point, rubbed out by Lostarinen and cleared along the far side out of play.
There's a play by Lostarinen right there, John, because Walker is mobile. He has the puck on the near side, a right-hand shot. He walks the line, gets it to the middle, and like a goaltender, Lostarinen right there. He was right with him every step of the way. Sometimes you have to sprawl to make a block shot. Not that time. Positioning, skating, get to the lane, block the shot.
A.J. Greer, his second goal of the playoffs, his second career playoff goal. Mikkola and Nosek get the assist at 3:33. 3-1 Florida here in Game 1. Out of the corner, Jordan Stahl of Carolina, their captain, checked by Forsling. Far side, he'll play it back to the point. Fumbled outside the line by Slavin, delayed offside. Carolina tags up. Aaron Ekblad will quarterback his way out to center. He'll stretch out the ice off the stick of Slavin. Back in. Burns is on it far side of the corner. He'll tight turn away from a forechecker. Get it out to center. Picked off by Forsling of Florida. And Barkov will send it back in on Anderson, who mans it in back of the goal. Burns near corner. Indirects a pass through center. Picked off near side at the line by Forsling. The Panthers back in the Carolina zone. Barkov. Ekblad, a heavy shot wide of the near post. A big bomb set up by Barkov.
When's the last time you saw a slap shot? That was a big slap shot by Ekblad. He had that much time. Second wave, joining the attack.
Cruising right in. The puck is frozen by Anderson. Ekblad from 35 feet out. A clean look.
And we're seeing great chances here in this period by Florida. And they're getting, right now, Carolina out of their game, getting them out of their structure. On the entries, Carolina chases the puck, then all of a sudden someone is wide open. And with Greer on the go, give him credit, right, on the finish. It was a pass across the crease, but he's still elevated on the shot. You've got to get it across against these goaltenders, otherwise they're going to get a pad on it.
Paul Maurice has done a great job, Jimmy, as you know, with that fourth line in and out of their lineup. It was Game 3 in the second round against Toronto. Those three guys got back in there, and it made a difference.
And he makes them feel so important. They were talking about that this morning, the fourth line, how they feel like they're as important as anyone else doing the job.
That would be Nosek, Gadjovich, and A.J. Greer, who has just scored. Seth Jones in back of his own goal down to the right. To the far corner, finished off by Svechnikov, a point shot. Bobrovsky said no to that. The shot taken by Orlov. Florida escapes harm. Good work by Jones to get it out with Svechnikov all over him. And Bennett now clears in. Glove save, a reset by Anderson. He'll handle it. He'll clear it all the way down for icing. An attempt to set up Seth Jarvis.
Now, I mentioned that neither goaltender handles at that time right there. There was so much time for Anderson. He had the puck, kind of that change situation. You're in the second period, right? You can catch the other team going. And he lofted that one all the way from his goal crease, all the way to the far blue line. Of course, it didn't connect, and you have the icing. But that's one way to beat a forecheck. When they're going to come hard, make that first pass, get out of the zone.
14:05 left to go, second period, 3-1 Florida. Game 1, Schmidt with a shot, a screenshot wide of Anderson, stick side. Rebounded for Gadjovich, denied. Good save, and mark that one for Freddie Anderson. With 13:58 left to go in the second period, Florida 3, Carolina 1. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA. We're back after these local messages.
The battle for the Stanley Cup is heating up. Hear every game of the Eastern and Western Conference Finals on Sports USA. Don't miss a minute of the shots, the saves, and overtime thrillers. The top teams and star players for a shot at greatness.
Right down Main Street, a point-blank save. Welcome to the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Starting next week on your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup, Sports USA.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the National Hockey League, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear, with unique one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics, and all the latest styles for every NHL team. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
It's the Western Conference Final on Sports USA, and we head to Texas for Game 1 between the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars. The Stars shine bright with Roope Hintz and the red-hot Rantanen. The Oilers will bring their dynamic duo in Draisaitl and McDavid.
Coming from behind the net, it's batted in by none other than Leon Draisaitl.
It's speed, power, and playoff glory. Oilers at the Stars, Game 1, tomorrow on Sports USA.
Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final here in Raleigh, 3-1 Florida. 13:58 left to go in the second period. With more on the last goal, here's Nick Olchak.
It was Game 3 last series for the Florida Panthers against the Toronto Maple Leafs when Paul Maurice decided to completely switch out his fourth line. Jonah Gadjovich, A.J. Greer, and Tomas Nosek came into the lineup, replacing Sturm, Samaskevich, and Boqvist. They've come in, they've done a great job, but also not just the hitting and physicality perspective, guys, but scoring as well. Huge goal in this game for A.J. Greer to make it 3-1.
Yeah, great stuff, Nicky. And the other thing, too, Jimmy, and Kulikov has it in back of his own goal. Florida starts a breakout now right to left. If it doesn't work and the fourth line's not clicking, those other three players that Nicky mentioned are good players. They have plenty of depth.
And it's plug and play. I mean, they can just guy in, guy out. Doesn't really matter. They don't stop.
Near side, a heavy hit on Eric Robinson by Dmitry Kulikov. Florida attempting to get to a loose puck now. Just about 7 minutes gone in the second period. The defending Stanley Cup champions with a 2-goal lead in Game 1. Second period play. Carolina has the puck. They dump it back in. Bobrovsky in back of the goal, far corner Kulikov. And now it's carried out to center by Lundell.
That's a solid breakout, one-touch passing.
Anderson in back of his goal. Is it a solid breakout? No. Near point, picked off Forsling off the corner boards. He'll dump it in. Marchand, far corner, cycles out, shoots one. It's blocked. Good play by Jacob Slavin. Stopping and starting Marchand. A turnaround shot blocked in front by Taylor Hall. Hall is pestered by Lundell. He escapes it, and the veteran gets it out for Carolina.
He kept the puck safe in front of his own net with Taylor Hall. Didn't try to make a move until he had total possession of the puck.
Bobrovsky in back of the goal. Handles near corner Forsling. Forechecked by Stankoven. He's got it for Hall. He overskated it in tight. Out of the corner, Forsling again. Ekblad far side. No stick. No stick for Sergei Bobrovsky. A shot. He doesn't need one. A pad save. A dandy on Jack Roslovic.
Glove above the pad. His catching glove above the pad to make this stop. Without the stick, as you mentioned, he has it back now. But you're right. He did not need it there.
My goodness. Now, Orlov out to center. Carolina has it. Sean Walker. Cross corner dump in far side. In back of the goal, Bobrovsky moves it near wall. It's played and carried now by William Carrier. To the point, Walker. Far point, Orlov looks at coverage. No shooting leg. Walker's shot rubbed out again. Lostarinen, true on the puck. It's tied up in his equipment. So we get a stoppage of play.
Another block shot, though, by a forward for the Florida Panthers, trying to get right in front of a defenseman. It's Sean Walker that time. Gostisbehere, Walker, they can walk the line, move back and forth, lateral, jump across, change the point of attack. But when you're as disciplined as the Panthers are right now, they're staying right in the lane. When you're blocking a shot like that as a forward, it's not getting close to the shooter. It's just getting in his path when he tries to put the puck. And it's not being in front of his body. You have to be right in front of his stick. That's where the release is going to be, and that's how you block the shot.
11:42 left in the second period. 3-1 Florida, game one. Face off down to our right, near circle. Stahl, Martinook, Carrier for Carolina, Barkov for Florida. Wins the draw, Kulikov. Stahl with a turnaround shot blocked by Kulikov out in front, near corner, Carrier. Stopping and starting. He's defensively marked by Dmitry Kulikov. It's a four-man scrum in that near corner. Puck is pried out. Rodriguez will dump it out through center. It creates a foot race, and Jordan Martinook is on his horse. He'll get to it.
There's Nate Schmidt, the defenseman, chasing it down for the Panthers. Not stopping at all.
Through center, Carolina stretches out the ice. Near corner, Bennett of Florida, tied up by Stahl. Mikula sets up Nate Schmidt, far side. Forechecked by Seth Jarvis. They tie it up in the far corner down to our right in the Carolina zone. Puck is free, side of the goal, Mikula. Near side, overskated a bit by Evan Rodriguez. He's hit hard by Svechnikov. The puck still skips around and out of the corner. Good work here, and a penalty is called.
Just when the Hurricanes got it going. John, I was just about to say, Carolina is getting on their game.
Right.
The game is starting to turn. They're shifting. But again, an offensive zone penalty against Carolina. And all of a sudden, you take off the pressure. Nate Schmidt was clipped with something. Is it going to be a minor or a double? We'll get the call right here.
Carolina 37, minor penalty, high sticking.
So it's just a minor, but it's one of those offensive zone. Nick Olchuk was talking about it, the discipline that is needed. Well, when you have the pressure on, when you got the forecheck going, Svechnikov was, it's inadvertent. At the same time, game management. Just when Carolina was starting to turn the game around, that's when they take an offensive zone penalty. And now it's up to the Hurricanes to kill this one. Otherwise, 3-goal lead, big difference from a 2-goal lead.
That was one of their best shifts of the game.
Yes.
By Carolina.
It was starting to move. It was starting to get back in the first period there. It happened at about the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, now they've got to kill one, but that's what they're strong at.
Svechnikov, who takes penalties, he did so in the regular season. Again, not so much in the playoffs, sits for high sticky. Jones now walks the line to the far point. Ekblad up top, near circle to the hash mark. Reinhart, near point. Ekblad, he'll dangle. Center point, Jones. Wrist shot taken, blocked. Good block in front by Jordan Martinook, who has Carolina's only shorty of the postseason. Kachuk's pass denied by Slavin. Jordan Stahl, far side inside the blue line, will dump it out.
Again, Ekblad and Jones starting the power play. 2 defensemen. They made a change on their first goal later on in the power play, and they had 4 forwards and 1 defenseman.
This is a big moment, just about halfway through game one. 3-1 Florida, power play for the Cats. They cross the line near corner. Burns ties up his man beautifully, sets up a breakout. 2-on-2, Jarvis through the middle now, Aho. Good play on the way back by Ekblad, a steal by Aho. To the outside, far side, he'll rim it. It was by Jarvis all the way around to the blue line. Along the near boards and back out to neutral ice, Sam Reinhart. Matthew Kachuk goes cross ice for Jones in front of his own bench. He'll wind it back to the red line and start again with 52 seconds left in the power play. Florida resets outside the Carolina line. Now zone entry. Reinhart near side. Broken up by Aho. More time killed.
Yeah, it's good to have 2 defensemen out there, especially against the counterattacks of the Hurricanes.
Verhaeghe now will pump it to the far corner. Get it himself to the slot. Denied by Stahl. And cleared out. And a good play by Orlov. With 27 seconds left on Carolina's kill.
Yeah, so far, all Carolina on the penalty kill. No quality setup time for Florida in the offensive zone.
Final push on the power play. Bennett in the slot with a wrister caught by Anderson. 15 seconds left on the power play, stoppage of play.
And that's an adjustment by Florida there. They weren't getting offensive zone possession time so far in this power play. Still 15 seconds remaining. So what they did, they went with a 5-on-5 mentality. They went for a rush chance, and it was Bennett right down the middle. Now, the shot is not overly dangerous. It does come from the middle. It's a wrist shot, and Anderson gloves it easily, but at the same time, it wasn't working. Make an adjustment.
Sam Bennett will take the far circle draw down to our left, opposed by big Jordan Stahl, the top guy in terms of face-offs for Carolina. Bennett wins at far point. Aaron Ekblad with a steering shot, no tip available. Slavin along the end boards. Verhaeghe retrieves it for Florida. He's tied up by Burns. Far point Ekblad, a wrist shot blocked in front. It caroms to the near wall. Forked in by Forsling. Out of the box is Svechnikov. Goes off Anderson. Loose to the slot. Bouncing around. Overskated by Marchand. but not out. Held in near point by Gus Forsling. Slavin will knock it down. Good hand-eye in back of his own goal. Martinook has it. Lynn directed out to center. Svechnikov punished by Forsling. A hit from behind, and a penalty is called.
Kelly Sutherland has the call. It's going to be a cross-check. It's good gap control by Forsling. He was in good position. I was kind of surprised, John, that he became as aggressive as he did because he was in control of the play. But the outward extension
Florida penalty number 42, 2 minutes for cross-check.
There's the call.
Well, we'll see if Carolina can take advantage with 8:30 left to go in the second period. Florida 3, Carolina 1. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final right here on Sports USA.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery. So he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Sometimes you have to state the obvious. What a kill by the Hurricanes. That's huge right now. They're trailing by 2 goals. Now, man advantage.
Okay, here they go. Gostisbehere far point with a shot through a screen. Tipped high off the glass and the protective netting. We get a stoppage. 8:23 left in the second period. 3-1 Florida. 1:54 left in the penalty to Gus Forsling.
I like that mindset on the power play. The Hurricanes win the faceoff. It's on the far side of the ice, to the right of Bobrovsky. And when you win a faceoff on a power play, get a shot on goal. Didn't go in. Gostisbehere, though, right mindset.
Cross-checking on Gustav Forsling in the Florida sin bin. Second power play for Carolina. Aho, Jackson Blake, Seth Jarvis, Svechnikov, and Gostisbehere. Near flank, it's Svechnikov, center point. Shane Gostisbehere. Svechnikov, far side, settled by Jarvis. He's hurried up by Barkov. Near ring, it's Svechnikov. Near point, Gostisbehere. Andrei Svechnikov to the goal line. Cycling out is Aho. He has Carolina's goal. Far side, Gostisbehere. Top of the circle, he'll carry right in. A shot swallowed up without rebound by Bobrovsky.
There's Gostisbehere again. I mean, he is excellent at moving the puck, changing the point of attack, lateral movement, left-hand shot, left side. He pulls and drags to the middle of the ice. I have to credit Bobrovsky here because, of course, Carolina's on the power play, and maybe they'll have an option back door. Not at all. With Bobrovsky's completely focused on the shooter, take care of that. Don't worry about the back door. Makes the save.
Nosek loses the draw to Aho. Svechnikov playing catch with Gostisbehere. Svechnikov shot tipped wide. Played out of the corner now. Rostarinen has the puck for Florida. He'll flip it. Held in by Shane Gostisbehere. Aho whips it across the ice for Jarvis. He's hurried by Ekblad. Jarvis backhands a pass for Jackson Blake. Through the slot to the near wall at the hash mark, it's Aho. He sets up along the boards, draws it back to the near point. Aho, top of the circle and out. Svechnikov tipped high and wide by Seth Jarvis. He's hit by Kulikov from the backside. It draws the ire of the crowd. Far point Gostisbehere. Near side, Svechnikov, a shot blocked beautifully by Kulikov. Aho, center point Gostisbehere holding on to it. Far side, Jarvis. Far point, Shane Goss to spare. He'll stick handle to the center point. Jarvis, far point, to the far circle. Blake to the slot. Svechnikov stopped again, loose. And now covered by Bobrovsky. And he's run into and a gathering in front of him.
But I think it's a loose puck, John. He finally got his glove on it, but with a loose puck, referees will allow a little bit more liberal contact going after loose pucks. The movement was there for the Hurricanes. They never were able to get the top quality shot. They had a couple of opportunities on deflections, but for the most part, it was one and done because of the collapsing of Florida getting back to help out. There was a couple of contacts, one with Jarvis in behind the net. And to be honest, John, as I'm taking a look at it right now, we heard the reaction. Jarvis spun at the last moment.
Yes.
It was contact from behind, but the referees, if they can spot that, it wasn't planned. It was one of those things where the hitter could not do anything else because of the quick spin of Jarvis in behind the net. One thing that they're doing, that being Florida again, they're allowing Bobrovsky for the most part to see the puck.
Okay, 30 seconds left in the power play. 7 minutes left in the second period. Unit number 2 gets out there for Rod Brind'Amour and the Hurricanes. Kokoniemi in the circle, opposed by Anton Lundell. Game 2 of this series Thursday night right here on Sports USA. 7:30 for our pregame.
Left-hand shot on the right-hand side is Taylor Hall. I think they're looking.
There he is, kicked out by Bobrovsky. Right on cue, Taylor Hall. 25 seconds left in the Carolina power play. Brent Burns in back of his own goal down to our left. He'll start the breakout. He's shadowed by Lundell. Roslovic through the logo. Kokoniemi. Roslovic. Right side will cross the line. Stankoven. Near point Burns. Far side Hall. Near side Stankoven fumbles the puck. And he was checked by Mikula. And it's cleared out by Anton Lundell. Out of the box is Gus Forsling. The Cats have killed it. 6:23 left in the second period. 3-1 Florida. Through the center ice zone, a dump in by Florida results in icing. And we're going to face off in the Panthers' end.
A lot of possession time for Carolina. I think they had the puck in there basically the whole. And when the puck left the zone, their entries were so clean, they maintained possession. But again, I thought Florida did a real good job of making sure Bobrovsky was able to see it. I talked about one of the saves he made where he's not worried about backdoor. That's the confidence and trust of a goaltender for his defenders. And you go the vice versa. The defenders trusting the goaltender.
These two teams know how to lock it down. Carolina number 1 in team defense. Florida number 2. And Orlov shot again. Top of his blue paint.
Well, we got
Bobrovsky and a disturbance out in front.
There's contact in the crease there, John, on the shot. Kelly Sutherland, the referee, is pointing his hand at guys, but it's one of those where the puck was not loose. And right off the face-off, give Carolina credit. They're a shot volume team. And there's a lot of contact. There's pushing and shoving. I think what Kelly Sutherland was doing there, the referee, he was pointing all around. He was pointing that the Hurricane player did not get there by himself. He was pushed by Kulikov from behind, and that's the reason for the contact.
Nate Schmidt in back of his own goal goes off the backside of Sutherland. The referee's down. He's hunched over. He's trying to hang in there. We'll keep an eye on it. Near corner fumbled by Carolina's Martinook, and now Verhaeghe out to center. From the red line, he's sealed off by Stahl. After he dumps it in, Bennett gives chase for Florida. Tied up by Dmitry Orlov. Puck is free on the near corner down to our left. The Canes will get to it, and Sean Walker sends it out for Orlov. Near wing over the line. Stahl in front of chance. Great back check by Bennett. Pass intended for Carrier. And Sam Bennett makes a 200-foot play. Sean Walker dumps it all the way back in far corner. Carrier to the slot. In the skates of Stahl. He's tied up. And it's flipped out by Carter Verhaeghe.
Just when it looked like Carolina was going to have the tap in at the crease, the stick comes free from Bennett to make sure. And you're right, John. He was so reliable there, getting back, so trustworthy. Stick on puck.
Carolina left to right. They cross the line. It's Aho. Far wing broken up. Nosek. Good play to break it out. Ekblad has it. Near side. Out to center from the red line. He'll dump it ahead. Off his backhand to the corner. Greer will move it. He has a goal tonight. A.J. Greer of Florida. And it comes back out to center. Nosek is there for the Panthers. He'll dump it back in the Carolina zone.
We're at the same position as the first period. Can Carolina get something here before the end of the period?
Puck is in the center ice zone. Flipped aerial fashion. Drawn back in his own zone by Barkov. Now Mikula throws on the brakes. Indirects a pass. Chipped in the zone for a change by Greer. It comes back to Scott Morrow. Not out Reinhart carries in for Florida on the change. He's checked on the play. Morrow takes over. Good play by Svechnikov on Reinhart. Andrei Svechnikov has the puck in back of his own goal. Double teamed on the forecheck. Stolen by Reinhart. Fanned on by Rodriguez on a good play. And it comes out to center. Mikkola golfs it back in the Carolina zone. 4:12 left in the second period. 3-1 Panthers game one. Puck comes all the way back on a tip. No icing in the Florida zone. Jones has it. Off a stick out to center. Camped out. Sam Reinhart. Drop pass. Doesn't work. It's cut off by Burns. And now rimmed along by Taylor Hall to the far side at the point. Cradled there, but brought outside the line off the stick of Evan Rodriguez. Marchand on a change. Moves in far wall. In the Carolina zone, good defensive play by Slavin on him. Taylor Hall fans on a dump out and sends it back for Jacob Slavin now. And a restart for Carolina through center. Deflects all the way in on Bobrovsky in back of the goal. They'll move it near side. The Panthers again shoot it all the way back in the Carolina zone. No icing. The Canes get to it. 3:23 left in the second period. 3-1 Florida game one. Puck is cleared in. We hope you're enjoying all the action here on Sports USA. Walker, far point. Arloff from the top of the circle, blocked by Gadjovich in play. Near corner, Roslovic. Walker at the point. Far side, Orlov. Sean Walker, near point, a shot off a stick off Luostarinen, and it goes out of play. With 3:02 left to go in the second period, Florida 3, Carolina 1. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA. We're back after these local messages.
It's the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA, and we're headed to Raleigh for Game 2 as the Florida Panthers come to Carolina to face off with the Hurricanes. The Panthers are led by Bennett and Barkov. The Canes can score on you in a blink with Jarvis or Aho. All the hard hits, highlight goals, and a shot at winning it all. Game 2, this Thursday, on your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup Final, Sports USA.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch the movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the Western Conference Final on Sports USA, and we head to Texas for Game 1 between the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars. The Stars shine bright with Rope Hintz and the red-hot Rantanen. The Oilers will bring their dynamic duo in Draisaitl and McDavid.
Coming from behind the net, it's batted in by none other than Leon Draisaitl.
It's speed, power, and playoff glory. Oilers at the Stars, Game 1, tomorrow on Sports USA.
Welcome back to the Grainger broadcast booth inside Lenovo Center. Think of Grainger as an experienced extension of your team. They have the industrial-grade supplies and solutions to help elevate your game. Click Grainger.com to get what your business needs. John Forsland, Jim Fox, Nick Olczyk back with you. Lenovo Center, Raleigh, North Carolina, Game 1. Eastern Conference Final, Florida, 3-1 lead. The defending champs leading the Carolina Hurricanes in the first game of this best-of-7 series. Off the face-off far corner, down to our right in the zone. Sam Reinhart will dump it out to center. Slavin of Carolina flips it off the end glass in high fashion. Mikkola's on it. We'll move it along Reinhart. Now Barkov through the middle. At the red line, at the logo, a shoot in. It caroms off the near corner wall to the far side. Held in by the Panthers, Mikkola. Slavin near corner. Plays it off the boards near side, and they clear it out to center. Dumped in the zone by William Carrier. Seth Jones is back first for Florida. Kicked along by Mikkola, not out. Martinook on the slot. Caught by Bobrovsky off the backhand of Jordan Martinook.
You have to wonder right there whether Carrier kind of had everyone looking over their shoulder. The puck was soft dumped into the far corner. And that's where Carrier goes and does his job. And you can see a couple of times, a couple of the Florida defensemen kind of looking over their shoulder. They know they're going to get hit, so they can't make the play they want to make, and almost cough it up in front of the net.
Shots are 17-15 Carolina. Florida had a 2-1 lead after one on goals by Carter Verhaeghe and Aaron Ekblad. Sebastian Aho scoring for Carolina late in period one. A.J. Greer has scored for Florida here in the second.
They're starting to shift a little bit again in the last 5 minutes of period number 2. Just shifting a little bit with more time in the offensive zone here for Carolina. There's a problem in the crease right now with Bobrovsky, and the linesmen are fixing the gash in the ice. They're getting the snow, they'll get the water, and I think right now, John, this is a kind of a good spot for Florida to take a deep breath because they've been spending a lot of time in their own zone.
Matt McPherson is handling the chores in the crease with help from a member of the ice crew. He and Johnny Murray are the linesmen to start this series, and congratulations to the officials who have made it this far on merit.
Yeah, Kelly Sutherland, he was hit by the puck earlier on. He was run into on the near boards by 3 players, 2 Panthers and 1 Hurricane. And so it's been a tough job, but he gets right back up. Hey, he's a hockey referee. He's not coming out of this game.
Oh, we saw Chris Rooney.
Oh, yeah, man.
That was scary, wasn't it?
Ooh.
But the reports are he's okay with some stitches above the eye, and he'll be back to work, and he's a great referee.
So was it Mikkola who was involved in that one?
Yes.
It was interesting because how things happened so fast. He didn't even know that he made contact. It was a follow-through on an attempted clear on the backhand, and we're going to have a little bit of a delay here in the crease because now we have the ice attendants on the ice, so it's a little bit more difficult to fix this than it was looking initially because the linesmen are just watching now, and you're getting everyone who help out here. They've got the big shovel out there. They've got it covered. It looks like we're going to get a chance here. I think the way this period was going, I think it's important. It's kind of Florida gets a timeout. They don't have to call one, but they get a timeout because of the ice.
So we will survive the rain delay, if you will, here in Raleigh. And we're back to order. 2:25 left, second period. Game 1 here on Sports USA. Morrow from well out, the rookie shot stick save by Bobrovsky out of the near corner. To the near wall, a big collision, loose Starinin all over Roslovic. The Panthers attempt to get it out near side. It deflects all the way back in the Panthers zone, far corner. Forsling checked by Taylor Hall. Stankoven, Hall kicks it to his stick, plays it out of the corner, far side. Whipped across near point, Morrow. No tip out in front, good coverage by Lundell. He picked off the play and got it back out to center ice.
Yeah, again, the Hurricanes are controlling this period in the offensive zone.
Game 2 is here on Thursday night. And our coverage kicks off with Rob Brinder. A pregame show at 7:30 Eastern Time on Sports USA. 1:34 left in the second period. Carolina left to right through center, broken up. The Panthers seize control. Bennett, lead pass, moving in. The defenseman Mikkola again. They go to the near corner.
He's been the best player on the ice
no
tonight's
doubt.
game. I mean, he's been involved defensively, offensively, skating, moving.
Carolina through the center ice zone, broken up. Guess who? Mikkola out to center. Bennett with Tkachuk. They cross the line. Bennett high slot. Dangles, pushes off Verhaeghe. He'll circle far side with it. Carter Verhaeghe out of the corner, pulls up, looks to the slot, goes to the point. Jones from the center point of wrister. No tip for Bennett. Left it back to the goal. Morrow tries to move it out. 52 seconds left in the second period. Carolina's out. Partial 2-on-1. Aho in front. Too hot to handle. Svechnikov on the pass from Aho. Svechnikov near side. Walker a shot. Swallowed up by Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yeah, it appears to me again, John, Sebastian Aho knows what he's doing, but he's not moving. He's getting those 2-on-1 situations, and he's a little bit too predictable that he stopped skating and tried the long pass. And, if it connects, it's perfect, and it's going to be a tap-in for Svechnikov. But I think the odds go up if Aho keeps skating on that play, skates it a little bit deeper, draws someone to him, and then makes the pass.
Good point. Good point. Most of your points are good. Now, 40 seconds left in the second period. Off the draw. Ekblad can't get it out. Walker's shot. Pad save Bobrovsky. A good one. And Rodriguez will dump it all the way back in the Carolina zone. It'll make it. Icing is called. 30.6 seconds left in the period.
And again, it's exactly like the end of the first period where Carolina's spending time. They're getting offensive zone face-offs. They're trailing by 2. And do they have a chance to get back within 1? That's what they're looking for. That's what they want. Because of the icing, Carolina elects to take the face-off on the far side to the right of Bobrovsky.
Down to our right as we look at it. Face-off win. Burns has it. A shot through traffic wide, and sizzling out the pad was Bob. Near point, Slavin will keep it in. In back of the goal, Jordan Staal for Carolina. Utilizes his big frame. Far point Burns. Walking the line to the center. From the near side, rubbed out. Good play by Barkov, who's the reigning Selke Trophy winner. Top defensive forward. 7 seconds left in the second period. A steal far side. Reinhart to the slot. Overskated by Rodriguez. Barkov's shot blocked. A stinger. It goes off Jordan Martinook at the horn. Shots are 20 for Carolina, 15 taken by Florida.
Yeah, Carolina had the pressure. Florida bent, but not break. Bobrovsky, again, for the most part, able to see shots, so it's difficult to get a tip or a screen or a second chance because the goaltender holding on for faceoffs.
At the end of the second period here in Game 1, Florida 3 and Carolina 1. Coming up next, Rob Brender has the intermission report. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final right here on Sports USA.
Keep your engines healthy with stable in-season protection. Enable your engine to run cleaner, smoother, and stronger than ever before. A simple way to keep your engines running like new. At every fill-up, start with stable in-season protection.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, happy lunch hour, whatever time it is, wherever you are watching from. Thank you for hanging out with us today for the NHL and NBA playoffs here on TSI during part of our Playoff Pulse campaign where we benefit SickKids Hospital every single game in Toronto. Now that you're here, please hit that like button and share this link out. That is the best way for you to increase the donation and bring more hockey fans and basketball fans here to the chat. Thank you for taking a second to do those easy YouTube things like hitting that thumbs up or thumbs down if you can't stand it and you think that I'm annoying for coming in here and telling you that you're making a difference in our Toronto community. It's all good. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team.
This is what Playoff Pulse is all about. Bringing playoff excitement and making a lasting impact for those who need it most. So let's rally together and show SickKids we're in their corner.
Hey everyone, Easton Cowan here. Let's amplify our impact. Every like, share, and subscribe boost our donations to SickKids. Watch the games, get hyped, and spread the word to grow our Playoff Pulse community. Join us now.
Mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Ride of life.
Rob Brender at the Sports USA studios. Tonight's second intermission report is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Get a wireless plan that saves you money and an extra trip. Switch to Straight Talk at your local Walmart while you shop for those little oranges the kids love. It's real unlimited data with real convenience. Your score after 2 periods of play in Raleigh. It's the Panthers 3 and the Hurricanes 1. This is Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Let's take a listen back to the highlights from period number 2. It didn't take long for the Panthers to extend the lead.
Mikkola kicks it out. Jonah Gadjovich. Nosek now through center. He centers this fourth line. Mikkola through the gut right in near side. They score! A.J. Greer! That's hockey, baby! What a play! The fourth line comes through. 16:27 left to go in the second period. 3-1, Florida.
The fourth line's been coming through on a regular basis as of late for the Panthers. For A.J. Greer, his second of the playoffs at .333 from Mikkola, the defenseman, Nico Mikkola, his first assist in the postseason. And Tomas Nosek picked up the secondary assist, his second assist in this postseason. Second career playoff tally for A.J. Greer. And as far as that fourth line goes, A.J. Greer, Tomas Nosek, Jonah Gadjovich, they've contributed 4 goals in the last 6 games for Florida. That one giving the Panthers a 3-1 advantage. Sergei Bobrovsky has been tremendous so far tonight in net, and he made his biggest save in that second period.
Stankoven, he's got it for Hall. He overskated it in tight. Out of the corner, Forsling again. Ekblad far side. No stick. No stick for Sergei Bobrovsky. A shot. He doesn't need one. A pad save. A dandy on Jack Roslovic.
Glove above the pad. His catching glove above the pad to make this stop. Without the stick, as you mentioned, he has it back now. But you're right, he did not need it there.
My goodness.
Incredible save, as you heard the guys describe so beautifully. Sergei Bobrovsky with no stick in hand, able to rob Jack Roslovic at 7:43 at period number 2. Just a tremendous stop for Sergei Bobrovsky, who's faced 20 shots so far on the night. He's allowed just 1 goal. On the other side, Freddie Anderson has faced 15 shots for Carolina. He's given up 3 goals. The 3 goals allowed by Anderson tied for the most that he's allowed in a game so far in this postseason. Lots and lots of hitting so far tonight. 36 hits in the game for Carolina, 31 for Florida. The face-off circle has been all Carolina. They won 63.3% of the draws in this game. The Panthers are 1 for 2 on the power play. Carolina is 0 for 2 on the night. And again, your score after 2 periods of play in Raleigh, it's the Panthers 3 and the Hurricanes 1, game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Coming up next, we just were talking about him a moment ago, the big 4th line, the man who centers that 4th line for the Panthers, Tomas Nosek. He spoke to our Nick Olczyk. We will hear that interview coming up next. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. Offer valid through 7/20/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management and practices, visit StraightTalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99. In-store only, limit supplies. See store for details. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA. Welcome back to the Progressive Insurance Studios. I am Rob Brender. A word from Progressive Insurance. Life can be hard, so Progressive makes bundling your home and auto easy. Hope that helps. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Adnan Virk and former NHL player Jason Demers are paired up for a new podcast. It's NHL Unscripted with Virk and Demers. And when these guys get together each week, it's quite the experience. All topics are on the table. Hockey, movies, wrestling, television, food, and you never know what guests will drop by. Listen to NHL Unscripted with Virk and Demers on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Unscripted with Virk and Demers and start listening. Your score after 2 periods of play in Raleigh, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. It's the Panthers 3 and the Hurricanes 1. A few moments ago, our Nick Olczyk caught up with Panthers center Tomas Nosek.
All right, Tomas, 3-1 after 2 periods. What do you think of your team's play so far?
Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty good structurally. I think didn't give up much. We just need to keep the things simple. Don't overhold pucks and keep the things simple. Chip it in, be good on a forecheck, and play good defense. Bobby made some great saves, and It's good so far.
Your line had a huge goal there in the second period. Clean out of the zone, speed through the middle of the ice. What'd you see on the goal and how it developed?
Yeah, it was perfect breakout. We did close support, how we wanted to play, and then I passed it to Mixie find a Greerzy back door, and he put it right on the bar, so perfect.
What's it going to take in the third period to close it out?
Don't take penalties, I think. Stay out the box and keep playing like we're playing.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
That is Panther center Tomas Nosek with our Nick Olczyk. More of the intermission report is coming up next. Your score after 2 periods of play in Raleigh. It's the Panthers 3 and the Hurricanes 1. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Rob Brind'Amour at the Sports USA studios with more of the Intermission Report. This broadcast is presented by authority of Sports USA and the National Hockey League and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Sports USA and the NHL. Your score after 2 periods of play in Raleigh. It's the Panthers 3 and the Hurricanes 1. This is Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Coming up tomorrow, the Stars will take on the Oilers, Game 1 of the Western Conference Final in Dallas. It's the second straight year that they've met in the West Final. Edmonton beat Dallas in 6 games last year on their way to the Stanley Cup Final, where they eventually fell at the hands of the Panthers in 7 games. Oilers captain Connor McDavid tied for second in the playoffs with 17 points thus far. He talked about the confidence they have that they can win that series.
We believe in our group, believe in each other, believe that no matter who's in the lineup at any given night that we're going to win. You know, I think our best hockey is only still coming. I think we've been building throughout the playoffs, and you've seen our game get better and better as we've gone. And I think our best hockey is still to be played.
Game 1 of the Western Conference Final tomorrow night right here on Sports USA. I will have the pregame show for you at 7:30 Eastern time. Puck drop set for just after 8 p.m. Eastern. Tonight's second intermission report has been brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Get a wireless plan that saves you money and an extra trip. Switch to Straight Talk at your local Walmart while you shop for those little oranges the kids love. It's real unlimited data with real convenience. Your score after 2 periods of play, heading into period number 3 in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's the Panthers 3 and the Hurricanes 1. Coming up after this, we're going to rejoin our John Forsland, Jim Fox, and Nick Olczyk in Raleigh for the third period between the Hurricanes and Panthers. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Lowe's knows that summer starts with Memorial Day deals. Right now, select paint, primer, and stains, or buy one, get one 50% off via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get 2 select 1.5-gallon annuals hanging baskets for just $15. Shop these Memorial Day deals before they're gone. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid to 5/28. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Annuals offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hey everyone, Adnan and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch the movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers in the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Welcome back to Lenovo Center, Raleigh, North Carolina. Game 1 Eastern Conference Final here on Sports USA. John Forsland, Jim Fox, Nick Olczyk back with you. Florida 3-1 lead. We get set for period 3. Ask the Pros is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Earlier today, we invited you to ask our pro, Jim Fox, anything about tonight's game. And tonight's question comes from Jeff, who hails from Rancho Cucamonga, California. Jimmy, you've been around a long time as a player, broadcaster. The hardest hit you've ever seen in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
I mean, playoffs are so physical. But, John, we both witnessed it. I mean, it was Game 4. Florida ready to close it out against Carolina back in 2023. Setting the tone early. About a minute and a half into the game, Sam Bennett in behind the net, in behind Carolina's net, and Jacob Slavin. And you're talking about a complete shoulder to the sternum, hard hit. Slavin just flew backwards into the boards, and unfortunately for him, he did not return to the game. There was no head contact, but it looked like a whiplash effect. The contact was so hard. I mean, he stumbled a couple times and never made it back. That's the hardest hit I've ever seen, up the shoulder to the sternum, and it was hard.
Florida went on to win the game and sweep Carolina in 4 2 years ago after that hit by Sam Bennett. Let's go down to ringside. Here's Nick Olczyk.
Oh, the mentality for both of these teams coming into the third period varies a bit. The Florida Panthers, I think, have done a great job in this game, especially in the middle frame, of keeping their play moving north. There was something that Tomas Nosek told me in that second intermission in this third period. They want to play north. They want to chip pucks, use their forecheck to their advantage, not just to create offense, but to play 200 feet away from a guy that has been unbelievable in this game, that being Sergei Bobrovsky. And for the Carolina Hurricanes, not all that different. Yes, use the forecheck to their advantage, but as they usually do, can't turn down any opportunities to direct the puck towards the net. They're one shot away from stirring up this crowd and getting back into the game.
Okay, we'll talk about that. The start of tonight's third period is brought to you by Empower. Get good at money so you can be just a little bit bad. Invest well at Empower.com. Florida 7-0 when leading after 2 in the playoffs. What do you think tonight?
And normally Florida wears you down. If there was a game, if there was an opportunity for Carolina, I think it's tonight, because coming off of Game 7, they've had rest. So if there's an opportunity for fatigue to set in, it might be period number 3. It's up to Carolina to push that fatigue.
Sasha Barkov of Florida, Jordan Stahl of Carolina, third period face-off. Eric Furlot, one of our 2 referees tonight, puts the puck down. Third period underway. Game 1. Game 2 is here on Thursday night starting at 7:30 Eastern Time with our pregame show. Rob Brender. And we'll be right here as always on Sports USA. And back of the Florida goal down to our left. And Karams to the near corner. The Panthers jump on it. Seth Jones will lay it out to center ice. Brent Burns in front of his own bench off the stick of William Carrier. It comes all the way back in Panthers ice. In back of the goal, Carrier stood up by Sam Reinhart. They grind in back of Bobrovsky, and now it's dug out, and Evan Rodriguez will float it out to center ice, where it's intercepted by Jacob Slavin. He sends it right back in.
And the team that dumps the puck in more than anyone, that's Florida. They want to get to that game, just dump it in with a 2-goal lead.
Rodriguez, far side, just inside the blue line, his own. He'll carry out to the red line and wrist it in for a line change.
That's dump it in, but not back off. It's dump it in and punish.
Marchand will dump it back in the Carolina zone down to our right. Orlov, near side at the red line. Jack Roslovic will send it in. Bobrovsky puts it on the tee for Forsling. To clear it near side, cut off by Taylor Hall. To the far corner, Marchand gives it back to Forsling. We'll try and clear Roslovic right on. Good pad save by Bobrovsky. Ready for that shot right from the far flank from Roslovic. It comes out. Held in by Stankoven. Roslovic turns on Forsling. Rims it all the way around near side. Hall, he does the same. Down to the far point. A keep by Walker. A shot, no tip. Hall drops it. Roslovic in front. Stankoven and his stick lifted by Lundell on a great play. Yeah, comes out to center.
Centermen of Florida. They're the guys that get themselves out of trouble more than anyone else. But Carolina's starting the period exactly the way they want to. Get that puck deep.
So the crowd revs it up. It's been kind of quiet tonight in the place they call the loudest in the NHL. Club shot far point by Burns. Near side Slavin. He'll send it in. Jarvis in the far corner. It's Aho. Diagonal pass near point. Slavin a shot. Blocked in front of bevy of humanity. It's free now. Taken down, but no call was Svechnikov. So the crowd moans about it. Near corner. Racing across. Mikola's been great tonight. Tries to get it out. In the slot, a fan-down shot by Aho. Trickles in on Bobrovsky.
I'll be honest with you, John. I think Svechnikov tonight has gone down easily a couple of times, looking to draw a penalty. I think the referees are sniffing that out early, first game in this series. He's a big boy. He's a powerful skater. He's a skilled guy, but it just seems like when the pressure's been on a couple of times, he wants to look over his shoulder, look at the referee, and say, hey, where's the penalty? I think when you get to this far in the playoffs, coaches will say, leave that up to the referees, focus on the game, and go for that second chance, second effort opportunity.
17:41 left to go in the third period. Florida 3, Carolina 1, game 1. Face-off down to our left near circle. To the right of Sergei Bobrovsky. Kokaniemi for Carolina wins the draw, but possession to Gadjovich, not out near point. Gostisbehere. Carolina keeps it deep. Schmidt gets to it. Good play to break it out. Florida races through center. Greer with a shoot in from the far to the near wall where it's chipped out by Kokaniemi. Through center, rejected inside his own line and drawn back by Nate Schmidt. They lay it out to center. Nosek gave it away. Morrow in his first playoff game ever for Carolina, replacing the injured Jalen Chatfield. Now it's cleared in. A little bit of a mishandle by Bobrovsky in back of his own goal. Caromed off the net. Florida survives it. They get it out.
But Florida not able to get anything as far as offensive zone time. That's their game. Again, holding a lead. Credit Carolina right there. They're slowing things down in that neutral zone.
Jordan Stahl near side to the corner. Down to our left in the Florida zone, a steal. It's Aaron Ekblad who's been solid again. Out to center. Markov on the march through the middle. Hounded from behind by Carrier. It's cleared in all the way around. Rodriguez gets to it. A tip chance goes high. Anderson got a piece of it. Reinhart out in front. Far corner. Carolina zone dug out by Sam Reinhart. Ekblad far point. With a shot blocked in front. A tie-up. Markov was tied up nicely in front of the goal that time by William Carrier, and it comes out to center ice.
Carrier was exceptional there. He made sure the stick of Markov was taken care of. He probably wouldn't win the position battle, but the stick was not effective. Great defense, stick on stick.
Carolina can ill afford a penalty now. Now Hall races in 1-on-3 over the line near side. Pestered, finished off by Mikkola. Out of the corner, Hall again, nobody home through the slot. To center ice at the red line far side. Scott Morrow takes it back. Through center, the young rookie out of UMass. The Florida Panthers get to it near side. Lostarinen, a shot blocked by Shane Gostisbehere. Lostarinen in back of the goal for Florida. Tied up again by Gostisbehere. To the near corner down to our right. Hall gets to it for Carolina. Clears it through center. It travels all the way down. It'll make it for icing.
And again, that last shift, Mikkola was out there controlling time and space, using his feet, making sure he's in position. Taylor Hall actually had the puck for the Hurricanes through the neutral zone with the most speed I've seen in the game so far, but then Mikkola comes out of nowhere, gets the right angle, snuffs it right out.
Well, you've loved him tonight.
I think he's been the best player on the ice for either team, and he's so noticeable. He's just big body, but the one thing he's doing tonight, John, he's using his feet.
Yeah. And he sure did on the goal that made it 3-1 by A.J. Greer as the puck is cleared by Carolina right out of play.
And it might be the automatic delay of game.
There's going to be a penalty called here. 15:29 left in the third period.
Carolina bench 2 minutes for delaying of game.
And it's Scott Morrow, the rookie.
He wasn't really under that much pressure. He was trying to leave his own zone on the far side, on the right wing attacking against Florida. He's a right-hand shot. What happened, the puck ended up scooping on his stick. He was just trying to clear the zone, but it actually went all the way across the ice line. I'm talking all the way across, went over the high glass. Automatic call.
Okay, so here we go. Florida back to the power play off the draw. The Canes get to it. Pitchforked out of the zone by Slavin. It comes all the way down to Sergei Bobrovsky.
Earlier in the game, Carolina actually got back into the game, built some energy because of a strong kill.
Florida is 1 for 2 with their power play tonight. Verhaeghe has the power play goal early in the first period. A broken stick. It's Carolina's Jacob Slavin as he was attempting to dump it out. It's cleared to center. Slavin is replaced now on the kill for Carolina. To the middle of the ice, Seth Jones of Florida gains the zone near side. From the point, Reinhart to the corner, Jones. Pinned on the play, Barkov kicks it out. Held in, no it's not. Good attempt by Matthew Tkachuk at the far point. Now Reinhart, right side from the blue line, goes cross corner. Aho to the wall first. He'll get it out through center and kill time.
It's a struggle here for Florida to get in the zone on the power play. Carolina's with them every step of the way.
They are as aggressive as they can get, shorthanded. Carolina cleared all the way around. And it goes by Rodriguez and back out through center. More time killed. 50 seconds left in the power play.
When it worked earlier in the game for Florida, they went to more of a 5-on-5 mentality and trying to enter the zone instead of just dumping it in. They're getting their support on the puck.
Just about 6 minutes gone in this third period. A tip chance in front. Bennett goes wide. And a pass from Rodriguez. Rodriguez at the near hash has control of it. He'll retreat, backpedal, near point, right side. Curling out, trading places is Bennett. His shot scores through traffic. As the puck just scoots through on a well-conceived play by Sam Bennett. Power play goal. 13:52 left in the third period. 4-1 Florida.
And that is a 5-on-5 mentality goal. With Bennett, he picks up the puck on the near wall. He's down about the hash marks. He skates as a left-hand shot all the way around, right out to the blue line. And then when he moved up, there was no one to get in his lane, but there was a whole bunch of traffic in front of the net. It wasn't one of those set-up plays where you get the possession, set it up on the power play, spread out. What happened was Florida went to the front of the net. There might have been a redirection, a deflection in front. Marchand is screening, but the puck comes in, and perhaps the stick, it looks right there, Verhaeghe might have his second goal of the game with the deflection. But there was an I formation right in front of Anderson. He could not see the puck.
So Bennett goes to the bench first, which is sometimes a telltale sign, but we'll see. Blake with a shot off the pad of Bobrovsky. The rebound for Blake. And Bobrovsky kicked that one along. To the far boards, Lundell of Florida inside his own blue line, out to center. Mikkola knocked out of midair beautifully by Burns. Transitioned by Cook and Niemi, stripped by Mikkola, carried in offside by Blake. And we get a stoppage. Some rough stuff after the whistle as Jackson Blake is involved there along with Mikko Mikkola. So 13:27 left to go in this third period. Florida has a 4-1 lead as you listen to game number 1 of the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA. We're back after these local messages.
The National Hockey League is on Sports USA. We've got the saves.
To the slot. What a save by Skinner.
And the scores.
Reinhart brings it. He scores. Oh, what an incredible goal.
But who will hoist the cup this year?
And after 30 years, the sun finally shines in Florida. The Panthers are your Stanley Cup champions.
Stay tuned to your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup final. It's Sports USA.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit, and the cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA, and we're headed to Raleigh for Game 2 as the Florida Panthers come to Carolina to face off with the Hurricanes. The Panthers are led by Bennett and Barkov. The Canes can score on you in a blink with Jarvis or Aho. All the hard hits, highlight goals, and a shot at winning it all. Game 2, this Thursday, on your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup final, Sports USA.
Back here in Raleigh, 13:27 left, and Florida has a 4-1 lead in Game 1. John Forsland, Jim Fox, and now let's go down to ringside with Nick Olchek.
At this point, no points credited to Brad Marchand in the box score to this point, but his impact has been immense since joining the Florida Panthers at the trade deadline back on March 7th. Coming into Game 1 here in the Eastern Conference Finals, 12 points in 12 games, played a huge role on that last goal for Sam Bennett on the power play, guys, giving the Panthers a 4-1 lead. Net front presence and a screen, making life very difficult for Freddie Anderson.
Florida's 2 for 3 with their power play tonight. Bennett has 7 goals in the playoffs. That leads Florida this year. As Florida clears it back in the Carolina zone, a power play goal for him at 6:08 has made it 4-1 in Game 1. Game 2 is Thursday night here on Sports USA. We'll start with our pregame coverage at 7:30 Eastern Time. Jacob Slavin crosses the line near side and a chest save by Bobrovsky, and it's cleared out to center.
Now every opportunity for Carolina. They're known for shot volume. They've got to get back to that. Of course, the Panthers have done a good job making sure there's no second chance opportunities. But get the opportunity, get it on net.
Do you see Carolina getting inside? I guess that would be a big key.
Yes, but I don't see it yet. And we're almost 8 minutes into period number 3, and they have not really penetrated to the high danger area.
So they have 24 shots, and they're out shooting an opponent, which is not unusual. They always do that almost every game. Regular season or playoffs, the puck is dumped in by Carolina for icing. We get a stoppage.
And both power play goals by Florida. The first one comes on undisciplined retaliation penalty.
Yep.
The second power play goal comes on over the glass delay a game. So those things that game management, how you manage a game throughout, not going the way tonight. It's going the way of the Florida Panthers.
Face off down to our right, the right of Freddie Anderson, far circle. 12-11 left, third period. 4-1 Florida, Game 1. Florida coming off a outstanding 7-game series win over Toronto that ended on Sunday. Carolina ousted Washington in 5. Their last game was Thursday night in D.C. Florida, right wing side over the line, Lundell, tied up briefly by Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere sidestepped a hit from Marchand. Out to center ice, so it's message time now for Florida.
You talk about headhunting. And now Marchand's going after Gostisbehere.
Here they go. Marchand and Gostisbehere drop the gloves. Gostisbehere's flailing away. Marchand will tackle him and get on top.
We'll see what the call is here. I would not be surprised if Marchand gets an extra one here. He went for the hit on Gostisbehere earlier on the same shift, but then he stayed around and he went after. I don't think Gostisbehere was able to even get his gloves off at the time, so sometimes you get that instigation or at least maybe an extra minor. We'll have to wait. Certainly it would not come at the right time. Maybe in the back of his mind, Brad Marchand says, we're up by 3 now. I can take liberties. And he took a run earlier. And now Gostisbehere getting back to his feet. We'll see what happens on the call. I would not be surprised if Carolina has the power play.
Gostisbehere appears to be cut on the play. He is...
Yeah, he's going up to his nose there and seeing what's going on, but It may have happened earlier. It could happen a little bit later. I think Marchand, he felt maybe to a certain extent, if I'm not mistaken, John, I'm just looking at a replay right now that while Gadjovich was clearing the puck, he actually tried to shoot the puck at Marchand. And maybe just, kind of ticked him off that way.
Yeah,
and that was really, after Marchand tried to run him. So he was trying to get back at him with a puck. And now 4 officials are huddled up at the timekeeper's bench, and they're talking about whether there's going to be an extra penalty here.
We get another look at it here, and it did appear that was the case, that Marchand, in his opinion, thought the puck was intentionally shot by Gadjovich at him when they went at it. So all 4 officials got together.
And now we get a little discussion.
We'll pick up the call. 11:45 left in this third period.
See if I can tell by the reaction. It's Ekblad over there talking with the official. And that is Garrett Rank out there. And Marchand is going to go. It looks like they're sending him off. Maybe something underneath the pile.
Carolina, 2 minutes for roughing. Florida, 4 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct.
So 4 minutes for roughing for Marchand and a 10-minute misconduct.
Yeah, he's incensed.
He is.
Yeah.
And I think, now, it did not appear to me, John, I'm just saying, that Gadjovich shot the puck at him. But I think by the replay, that's the way it was interpreted by Marchand. Now, it'll be a 2-minute power play because one minor on each side cancels each other. The double minor against Marchand goes up on the board. But he's gone for the rest of regulation, at least, with 11:45 remaining in the third period. And that chance right now for Carolina to get back in this game.
And you mentioned referee Garrett Rank. He has replaced Kelly Sutherland.
Ah, yes.
Who was hit by a puck in the second period. So Rank is now working with Eric Furlot. Power play ensues for Carolina. Reinhart in control of the puck now from the blue line. Short-handed. Near side, he's in the Carolina zone. Rubbed out on the play on the way back by Sean Walker. 11:28 left. A steal Barkov. He tries to wrap it in front. He was denied ice by Svechnikov, and Carolina emerges with the puck. They cross the line, a steal on the way back. It's their captain, Barkov. On the right wing side over the blue line, short-handed. Defensively marked by Walker. They go to the corner, but Barkov does all the work.
That's all Barkov on this kill. I mean, he's just controlled the puck. And right now, it's no attack time at all for Carolina, but still a long way to go. 1:15 remaining on the power play.
Those shots on the power play so far for the Hurricanes. They send it in. Far corner, Aho gave it away. And Mikola's on the spot. He'll dump it out.
If there's ever a time right now where the Panthers want to come up big for their new teammate in Brad Marchand, it's right now.
Taylor Hall races through the center zone, broken up. Nico Mikola's on it. And again, a clear. He'll dump it down. 50 seconds left on a listless Carolina power play.
With all that reach of Jones and Mikola, it's tough to get the blue line.
Kokaniemi through center drops it off. It's carried in by Blake. Now Hall from a tough angle. High slot Stankoven far side. Flung wide by Kokaniemi. And it comes out to center. Stankoven traps the zone near point nicely. Puck is free along the boards at the point. Blake for Stankoven. Now it's poked out to center. And Burns will take over at the red line. A reset for Carolina. 20 seconds left in the power play. Hall, far side Kokaniemi, drops it off for Stankoven at the far hash mark. To the far point for Burns. Off a stick, defensive stick. It went off. Rodriguez now near point. Roslovic to the corner. Kokaniemi. All the way across, a tough pass for Hall. Rodriguez is on it. Short-handed through center, far wing over the line. The cut across, pirouette, a backhander stopped by Anderson.
Back to full strength right now by Florida. Nothing whatsoever for Carolina.
Kokaniemi through center, a lead feed for Stahl over the line, far side of the zone. Beautifully played by Mikola, who gets it out.
Mikola is just doing everything he possibly can. Defending and attacking.
Carrier for Carolina, far corner in his own zone. For Slavin, indirecting out to center for Stahl. Martinuk on the far left wing side. He'll pull up, hold on to it to the high slot. Walker now, Martinuk near side Slavin with a shot blocker down by Bobrovsky. Out of the corner now. Bennett broken up. Puck is free. The Florida zone. Mikola gets to it. He'll advance it out to the red line and shoot in.
Can look dangerous for a split second with Carolina attacking on the near side, but then Florida takes away the middle. Bobrovsky sees it all the way.
On the right wing side over the line, Svechnikov over the line, broken up. Good defensive play. It's popped out of the zone by Greer and sent all the way back out. Orlov at the red line. Aho shied away from Nosek. The Panthers get to it. It's Forsling. He'll dump it back in. Orlov pestered by a charging Nosek. All the way around far side. Roslovic, a soft play broken up. Nosek, a shot blocked by Burns, and Carolina's in control.
Yeah, right now. Defending. Again, not necessarily backing off, but making sure you're above the puck at all times.
8:12 left. Orlov over the line, broken up. Forsling right there. There's back pressure. There's the defenseman getting it done. Ekblad now to the far side over the line. Barkov. Body down by Anderson. The rebound. Slavin's on it. Near side for Kukaniemi under pressure. He's hounded by Barkov. Slavin near corner. Down to our right. Off a loose stick on the ice by Orlov. Florida gets to it. Reinhart goes deeper. Rodriguez cycles out to the slot for Barkov. He gets to it. He turns away from Kukaniemi. He'll dangle to the wall. Kukaniemi plays it well. Leaves it for Slavin far corner. Carolina finally will escape harm.
Again, the clinic continues. You're holding a lead. It's just one man on a puck. And once you make a pass, you're either finished or no one's there to get the second pass.
Sean Walker accelerates beautifully out to center. He'll gain the zone, kick it out right wing side. Stahl with a shot blocked in front by Kulikov. He's finished hard by Taylor Hall. They go to the corner. Beethoven stood up by Kulikov. Ostarinen gets to it for Florida. They'll play it along the boards and bump it out through center.
All that speed by Walker through the neutral zone and just deflected to the outside by Florida.
Through the center ice zone, head to Luostarinen. Will send it back in for Florida. They change. Carolina's changing too, and now Brent Burns. Out through center ice for Jordan Stahl. He'll gain the zone to the right side, broken up. He'll go to the far corner, hit hard by Nikola, centering pass. Off sticks, near point Kulikov. No tip available, no stick Bobrovsky. He has it back now. Along the boards, Carrier tied up by Jones. Martin lends support, near point Orlov for Carolina. Far side one-timer Slavin. Blocked in front, Slavin gets it back. Another shot wide on the stick side of Bobrovsky. Along the near side, Orlov to the center point. Takes a slapper. Now a wrist shot. Great recovery. Great block by Jonah Gadjovich, who broke his stick on the play. He goes to the bench. Gets a new twig. Slavin shot through a screen wide. Reinhart on a change will carry out partial 2-on-1. He and Greer, Reinhart far wing. Good defensive play by Slavin. Greer to the corner. And now Orlov off the driftwood will get control of it. Now that stick is still out there. They're back in the goal. Svechnikov lays the body on his man. That was Barkov. And now Carolina's back out. Aho floats it through center ice. Under 6 minutes left. Rodriguez far wing. In the zone, pulls up, throws snow and goes down. He lost his edge with Aho defending. In back of the goal, Barkov battling Walker. And now Slavin to the far corner has the puck. He'll take a hit from Tkachuk and get it out through center. And it comes all the way back, no icing. Ekblad's on it. Florida has time to break it out.
You talk about commitment to a team game for Florida right now. Everyone is committed without the puck to make sure it's not easy.
Right wing side, Hall stripped on the play, and a good play that time by Forsling out through center. Bennett over the line with a shot, rejected by Anderson. He lost the puck, regained control, and he melts it down for a stoppage. With 5:12 left to go in regulation time. Florida 4, Carolina 1. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final right here on Sports USA.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check for your wallet first, before hitting the drive-thru.
$6.
Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Welcome back to the Grainger broadcast booth inside Lenovo Center. For the ones who get it done, there's Grainger offering personal-grade products for all industries, fast delivery, and free technical support. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by.
Before this period started, Johnny said if there ever was a time that maybe you could take advantage of fatigue against Florida, it would be tonight. Wow, it has gone completely the other way. I'm going to use the word again, clinic, holding a lead. And it's not backing up. It's having first-man pressure in the offensive zone. If that's broken, then they get back and they deflate. They stand up at their own blue line, and they're making it difficult for anything to be clean for the Carolina Hurricanes.
I think it's fair to say this is the first time in this postseason that Carolina has a little bit of maybe self-doubt. A quick hitter, another goal. Nosek with a beautiful feed. Absolutely beautiful feed. Etu Losterinen with a quick snapper. 5:05 left. 5-1 Florida.
Yeah, end zone face-off into the puck behind the net. Nosek gets to the puck behind the net. And he's going from the near side to the far side on his backhand, and that made it special because more difficult on his backhand. But very quickly, John, he made the pass so quickly on his backhand. Losterinen gets in front. He goes far side. Freddie Anderson did not have any time to set up at all. 4-goal lead, Panthers.
And my thought was this: Carolina's facing this kind of thing for the first time in the postseason. It was a relatively easy go of it in round one. Little push by Washington. They did not have enough. 5 and out for them. And now this for Carolina. Yes, this could be a long series. A hand pass will stop play. But Florida's going to have a ton of confidence against this opponent once again.
Now, Florida comes in, and I thought that might be a chance to have the cruise control, as I called it. You know, I asked Paul Maurice this morning. He said, I really don't know what's going to happen. He said, maybe the rest is going to be the big advantage for Carolina. But he said, maybe that we haven't had any times off will be our advantage. And they've turned that. They've had cruise control all night long.
And Lenovo Center is emptying right now. The Caniacs are gone for the highways and byways of Tobacco Road. 4:38 left in this third period. We'll all be back on Thursday night for Game 2, but this has been total domination as Eric Robinson has a backhander in tight. No problem for Sergei Bobrovsky to tie it up and get a face-off.
It'll be interesting after the game to get the read from Brad Marchand on exactly what happened because, you know, he's known for doing some things, I'll call it, that go outside and break the rules and cross the line. Tonight, his team has a 3-goal lead. It's not really the time to get, overly excited about something, and he was really upset to the point where he took the extra minor. I thought that was going to happen, but then the 10-minute misconduct. Something must have happened, John, I think, on the ice when you're gouging and grabbing. I'm just making that assumption right here.
Yeah.
You got that 10-minute.
It'll be interesting. Always is. Gostisbehere cherry-picking Bobrovsky. That was a shot from the blue line with no traffic again. No problem.
Yeah, John Forsling could have made that save, I think.
You think?
No, he just, boop, glove out there, make it easy.
I don't know.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know. I was up for all neighborhood once.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I think I got it, actually. I had a good year. Anyway, Greer out to center. Out of the corner, Seth Jones will get to it. He'll float it along. Penalties whistle dead. A roughing call is called up top by Eric Furlock. And Jonah Gadjovich will take a seat.
And he took a run, and then he took...
roughing.
I think he led with the arm. He led with a forearm, and that's where the contact was made. So, again, with a 4-goal lead, I don't think the undisciplined nature becomes much of a story. As you mentioned earlier, John, it becomes more of, hey, let's send a message here. Yeah. We got a lead. Let's go. We're the bullies. We're going to keep bullying. We're going to keep going. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to do it that way. And, finishing the check a little bit high, maybe a punch right after that. So that's the reason for the call.
Carolina down by a bunch. Should they lose this one tonight, it will be 13 straight losses in the Eastern Conference Final. Shot taken by Gostisbehere. Glove save. Bobrovsky, another face-off here. 4:10 left. It starts in 09, a 4-game sweep by Pittsburgh. Then it goes to 19, a 4-game sweep by Boston. And then the 4-game sweep by Florida 2 years ago.
I did the 4-game sweep against Boston. I did the 4-game sweep 2 years ago. So I don't think Rod Brind'Amour will want to see me around the rest of this series.
And I did the 4-game sweep in 09.
There you go. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. I used to work here, I think. Now,
Yeah.
Bobrovsky will hang on to that one from well out. Shot again by Gostisbehere.
We carry a lot of power here, I think.
I think we do. We'd have to check with our boss, the great Larry Kahn, and have him weigh in, which he doesn't shy away from. He'll weigh in on just about anything. 4:05 left in this third period.
Speaking of weighing in, no, we won't go there.
No. We hope to see him in a couple of days when we get to the Sunshine State. Out of the corner now with 4 minutes left in this third period. Gostisbehere. Remember, tomorrow night here on Sports USA, it's Dallas and Edmonton, Game 1 from Big D. Shot taken by Aho, blocked by Forsling to the far corner. Aho again resets the play. Center point Gostisbehere slot. A dangle, a nice move by Blake. Jarvis for Blake, he scores! Jackson Blake, who created the play, gets a pass from Seth Jarvis on the power play. 3:41 left in this third period. 5-2 Florida, and a little disturbance after the goal.
Yeah, you get that confidence builder if you're the power play. And you're right. Blake picks up the puck. He's the bumper man, right? He's that guy that's there to take off pressure. He had a pull and drag move right in the middle of the ice. Then he dished off to his left to Jarvis, and then Jarvis gave it right back to him. So it ends up to be a tap in right at the crease. And it's one of those things where, again, you're building confidence. You're looking towards the next game probably. Although, back within 3 now it brings back into that opportunity for pull the goaltender situation. I think at 4, you don't think of that at all. But back within 3, I would not be surprised to see Freddie Anderson over to the bench for the extra attacker.
Jackson Blake, the son of longtime NHLer Jason Blake, gets Carolina's second goal tonight. 3:33 left in this third period. Martinook out of the corner. Barkov in control of it, moves it far corner for Nate Schmidt. Schmidt turns, lays it along the boards, cut off. On a pinch down by Sean Walker, comes out to center, 3:17 left. Dmitry Orlov will slam it back in the Florida zone. Martinook lays the body on Schmidt. He plays it to the far boards. The Panthers swing it out thanks to Evan Rodriguez. 3:05 left in this third period as they announce the goal scored by Jackson Blake. And with 3:01 left to go in this third period, Florida has a 5-2 lead over the Carolina Hurricanes. You're listening to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA. We're back after these local messages.
It's the Western Conference Final on Sports USA, and we head to Texas for Game 1 between the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars. The Stars shine bright with Roope Hintz and the red-hot Rantanen. The Oilers will bring their dynamic duo in Draisaitl and McDavid.
Coming from behind the net, it's batted in by none other than Leon Draisaitl.
It's speed, power, and playoff glory. Oilers at the Stars, Game 1, tomorrow on Sports USA.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the National Hockey League, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear, with unique one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics, and all the latest styles for every NHL team. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
It's the Eastern Conference Final on Sports USA, and we're headed to Raleigh for Game 2 as the Florida Panthers come to Carolina to face off with the Hurricanes. The Panthers are led by Bennett and Barkov. The Canes can score on you in a blink with Jarvis or Aho. All the hard hits, highlight goals, and a shot at winning it all. Game 2, this Thursday, on your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup Final, Sports USA.
John Forsland, Jimmy Fox, and Nick Olczyk back with you here in Raleigh, North Carolina. 3:01 left in regulation. Freddie Anderson, the goaltender for the Hurricanes, has been pulled by Rod Brind'Amour. The Panthers with a 3-goal lead. We go 6-on-5.
Yeah, with that power play goal to get you back within 3, I think that's what you expect.
Jarvis out of the corner, fanned on by Jackson Blake, who has just scored. Gostisbehere to the wall, it's Walker. Bottom of the near circle, Svechnikov. Walker near point, far point, Gostisbehere. Far wall, Aho, a shot rejected by Barkov. He'll dump it out to center for Evan Rodriguez, who cushions it back in the Carolina zone.
Barkov had the opportunity to take a long shot at the empty net, decided not to, chips it to Rodriguez, clear the zone.
Jackson Blake is third on the power play from Seth Jarvis and Shane Gostisbehere. Now Florida, 3-goal lead here in Game 1. Game 2 is Thursday night on Sports USA. Gostisbehere dangling far point, carries in to the hash mark. He'll send it back, center point Jarvis. Gostisbehere gets it back. Near side for Walker. Walker in the high slot. To the far wall now, it's Aho. Center point Gostisbehere. Aho, a one-timer wide of Bobrovsky. To the near side, held in by Gostisbehere, retaken by Lostarinen. Back out for Reinhardt, a whip it across, knocked out of midair. Beautifully by Walker. Carolina, zone entry near side, it's broken up. Reinhardt, a good play. Ekblad dumps it out. 1:47 left. The Hurricanes send it in, near corner. Jarvis out of that corner. Near wall. On the left side, Svechnikov. Center point, Walker from Slavin. Far side, Aho. With a shot, goes high off the glass. Laid along the back, that actually was Kokoniemi. Now along the wall, Svechnikov in the skates of Jackson Blake to the near corner. Kokoniemi, far corner, far point, it goes Walker. 1:19 left. Kokoniemi now winds it in through the slot, Jarvis. And back of Blake. Off the near boards, Walker center point, Slavin. Easy pad save, Bobrovsky. Now it's carried in on a change by Taylor Hall. Off the stick of Jones, he gets it back far corner. Hall now to the point for Slavin, unattainable, back out. Under a minute left in regulation. 5-2 Florida, Game 1.
It's simple to say, but the strategy has to change here. Now it's all shots. I mean, you need 3.
Stankoven will clear it all the way around. 6 skaters out for Carolina. 44 seconds left. Gadjovich for Florida along the end boards to the far corner. Mikkola muscling his man. They tie it up. Carolina in possession. Roslovic. Far point Burns. Near side Slavin. A spinning shot off the stick of Nosek. It goes out of play.
So we'll take a look at the penalties that Florida took here in the third period. They took them when they had big leads, big margins, where players felt, okay, even if I take one here and they get one on the power, it's not really going to hurt us. And I think that's what they're back to now, 27.1. Even with the end zone face-off, I agree with this. Rod Brind'Amour sends Freddie Anderson back because you need 3 now.
Right.
And that's just going to be almost impossible. So you send the goaltender back in, you go back to normal. But the bullies continue to be bullies. But again, clinic, third period, holding the lead. Florida did everything correct.
It'll be Carolina's first loss at home in this postseason. It's knocked down in front. Carrier shot kicked out and stopped again by Bobrovsky on the second opportunity. Kokoniemi right there at the side of the net. 16.5 seconds left.
Yeah, strum it up. That's what Carolina's trying to do. They're just trying to get the puck to the net. Gostisbehere has caught my eye tonight for Carolina as far as how dangerous he is at the point position, changing the point of attack, lateral movement, walking the line. He beats guys one-on-one there, so you have to almost contain him as opposed to going after him.
Florida will go to 6-2 on the road in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Kulikov now tries to clear it out. Morrow caught off net by Bobrovsky. 11 seconds left. Another face-off in the Florida zone.
And Florida will just go back, take the day off tomorrow probably.
Yeah.
Just one of those things where you just, energy is what you're looking for now, the freshness, the rest, that's all you need.
And they're coming off a 7-game situation that ended Sunday night. So they'll take it. I think you're absolutely right. Carolina, they'll have a choice too, but their game is based on skating. The horn sounds. Game 1 goes to the defending Stanley Cup champions. And a little skirmish at center ice.
And Florida has the right guys.
So they come out and surround the winning goaltender, Sergei Bobrovsky, who gets it done again. The Florida Panthers, the defending Stanley Cup champions, lead the East Final by 1 game as they get the first one here in Raleigh, setting up Game 2 on Thursday night. Jimmy, let's talk about this from a defensive standpoint. Tonight's Defender of the Game is sponsored by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly celebrating all who go above and beyond during Military Appreciation Month. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/celebrate. Our members are the mission.
You know where I'm going here?
I think so.
You know exactly where Nico Mikkola. I mean, he was all over it, instrumental on a goal, but I'm talking about what the Panthers are known for, and that's snuffing plays out, making sure they're controlling gaps, controlling their own blue line. And I saw Mikkola a couple of times, maybe 3 times. He was headhunting out there. He was trying to send a message. He's a big kid. He's trying to take the body. He impacted every element of this game.
Well, dominating performance by the champs, there's no question. We'll see what answers Carolina can come up with in game number 2 on Thursday night. Final count in game 1, the Florida Panthers 5, the Carolina Hurricanes 2. You're listening to game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final right here on Sports USA.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we know how fast life moves. That's why we have
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. Thanks for hanging out with us just because we hit 100,000
The service is
subscribers.
free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon, this evening, what time it is, wherever you're watching from all over the world. Now that we have your attention, please help us continue to grow this amazing community. We are over 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and we want to keep climbing all the way up to 250, all the way up to 1 million. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hitting that subscribe button and helping us grow this awesome community. Don't forget to turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single game of the Eastern and Western Conference Finals for both the NBA and the NHL as part of our Playoff Pulse campaign.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Joe Bowen here, voice of the Leafs. Holy Mackinac, we've passed 100,000 insiders on Toronto Sports Insider. The Playoff Pulse campaign is unstoppable. Let's aim even higher. Subscribe now and join this amazing community making a difference. Together, we're showing SickKids the power of sports fans worldwide. Let's keep growing this global community.
Hey you, yeah you, Easton Cowan, Leafs prospect here. I'm loving these Playoff Pulse live hangouts. Subscribe and turn on the bell to catch every game. Keep the chat buzzing and let's cheer for SickKids together. See you in the chat.
He said the first 10 minutes they would have to weather a storm. Did not happen.
Right.
His team was on top of it. His team was making sure they were dictating the pace of play. Then he said, during the course of the game, there'll be a segment of the game where it'll be 15-2 in shots in favor of the Hurricanes. That never even came close. They ended up leading the game in shots on goal, but there was never a time in the game, maybe at the end of the first when they came back and scored. That's the only time I think they had any type of control in the game. And then you get to the third, and I'll use that word again, absolute clinic by the Panthers on how to hold a lead. With all 5 guys working together, not backing off too much, and making sure you stand up at your own blue line.
So the Panthers now, they get it done every conceivable way, right? Any kind of way you want to win the hockey game, whether it's skill, speed, physical play, they do it. They do it tonight. So now I want you to be in that Carolina room.
Yeah.
This can't be treated as a one-off, right? They have to look in the mirror at this, and what do you think they're going to come up with for answers?
Well, I thought what Carolina did earlier, they tried to out-hit Florida, and that's okay, but that's not their game. And I mentioned a couple times with Aho, trying to look for that pass, looking for that perfect play. Didn't get his feet moving, so there's one of the skilled players. Svechnikov a couple times tonight. I said, I'm going to be honest, I thought he was looking for penalties when they weren't there, looking over his shoulder. So those are things that, showing frustration, showing that you're no longer in control. That has to be eliminated from their game. Forget about that type of stuff. Pretty play, it's not going to work most of the times. Getting that penalty, drawing a penalty, diving for a penalty, that's not going to happen either. Focus on your own game, what you do best, and that is shot volume. Get back to that.
And get inside somehow. That's easier
hard.
said than
Yes.
done, right? It's tough in the trenches against Florida.
I'm going to mention Ekblad. I'm going to mention Jones, Mikkola, and Kulikov. And then I'm not even mentioning their best defenseman in Forsling.
Right.
But if you're trying to get through those guys, the big bodies, that's a tough thing to do. But again, if Bobrovsky sees the puck, there's not going to be any rebounds. You've got to take away his eyes so there are rebounds. That's how you get your second chances.
And that's the last point tonight because we talked about it at the top. We always do in a playoff series, the goaltenders. So your thoughts, Bob was dialed in, and what about Freddie?
Yeah. Again, after the